So our audio should be going out now while we're only looking at a still. I'm still clicking over to the patron site so I can make sure that our patrons
have access to the link.
Yeah, so all the patrons have access to the link. But unfortunately, I hit go before I started this process.
Ooh, I'm telling.
Oh, don't tell anyone. They'll be upset with me. Click live stream. Click YouTube live stream. We're going to go over here and click, I don't want to schedule. I just want to do it right now. Publish now.
I think it's now.
Yeah, I think it's now. I don't publish now. Yeah, it's the best post ever. It just says no. Then I hit the monitor and frighten myself that maybe I broke something, but it doesn't look like I did. That makes me pretty happy. There's that. All right, and then we need to be here, and we're going to pop out the chat. Oh look, people are actually here. I suppose we should switch over to video so people can see us, right? Maybe, because Ionolith is here.
Eventually.
Maybe eventually. Alrighty, we can just. I suppose I could have been here for a little while. Yeah, that could have been a fun shot to have instead of a graphic, but my brain was not on that.
Hey, they're both lovely artwork done by the same artist.
They are both lovely artwork done, but yes, as I repeat what Felicia says again, it's a bad habit that I've got. I'm really sorry about that. The artwork is done by one of my patrons by the name of Ace, and the lovely Mechagodzilla mug here, which features a individual picture of Mechagodzilla on one side, and then on the reverse is the full RAR logo with Mechagodzilla over Odin Makes. This is all totally available currently on Teespring, so if you act now, you can get your mug and have it sent to you as soon as Teespring gets around to sending stuff out.
Okay.
Something like that.
I got one.
You got one. Hello and good morning.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Hi. So my name is Odin.
Hi, I'm Felicia.
And I've gotten extremely little sleep because I just came back from a con last night. How about you?
I
also got extremely little sleep. Is not feeling 100% here, but she did not go to a con over the weekend. I got to go to WonderCon over the weekend with Captain Splody and Jared Falcon, and I got to meet up with a few other patrons and some additional viewers and friends that I've known for a while. I also ran into both Cosplay Siren, who did some of the audio and some of the in-room electronic effects for the Arcane experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she showed up dressed as Princess Mononoke, and then I also ran into the Jinx cosplayer. And I'm forgetting her name right now because I'm a horrible person.
It's okay. You're just on the spot and we're live.
Yeah, that's it. Didn't even know it was her. I came across a couple of Space Marines that looked really good. They even with the smart gun had an old Steadicam arm, so they had the right Steadicam arm for the big smart gun, right? So it was Vasquez and Hudson. And they were walking around, and you know how it's easy to do in a crowded section. They completely missed the Xenomorph cosplayer that walked by. And now the Xenomorph wasn't a super complicated Xenomorph cosplay. She had just gotten a Lycra bodysuit that had basically the design printed on it. You could tell it was a Xenomorph because it had the 4 back pipes, even though it was just flat on her back.
Okay.
And then she had big platform shoes, a braided mohawk, and those extension fingers that you can get from the one artist that made them. Right, Adam Savage had shown them off. Yeah, she actually looked. I knew who she was. It was the single most comfortable looking Xenomorph costume I've ever seen. They missed each other, so I kind of rounded the Marines around. It's like, look who's over here.
Hey.
Right. And it was great because Xenomorph turns around, oh my gosh! And of course the hands, right? Anyway, she was the Jinx cosplayer I interviewed from Arcane as well, the Xenomorph. But that was a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. Let's see, do I have a picture of that? I think.
Yeah, you were posting pictures all over the Discord.
I was posting pictures all over the Discord. Oh no, because I can't show them in the streams as easily. I suppose I can, but they're all vertical pictures because
phones are this way, rectangles.
Yeah, phones are that way. Social media is that way. People stand that way.
Phone.
So no, you don't have your phone.
No. No, of course.
But yeah, they're on my Instagram. They're on Discord. But it was so many fun people to see. I know a cosplayer I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I get for switching my own show. Yes, Dr. Evil showed up. He was great. There was a couple of guys that I saw that specifically cosplay as certain people. He does Dr. Evil apparently all the time because he looks pretty good as Dr. Evil. I also ran across somebody who does a Robin Williams cosplay, and he has two cosplays, Popeye and Mork.
Interesting, nice.
Yeah, and he's got the full helmet and red suit with the silver lame triangle and the boots for Mork. It was just because he's got the nose and he's kind of got the profile right with the helmet on, or with Popeye with the hat on and the corncob pipe. It makes a pretty passable Robin Williams. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Well, that's the easiest cosplays to do when you kind of look like a character.
Right, when you kind of look at the person already. Sorry,
yeah.
Got my foot on the.
I know. I'm just all being extra lazy today.
You be extra lazy today.
We're still on a picture though, so.
Oh, okay.
They can't see us.
We'll stop being on the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So WonderCon was great. WonderCon kicked my butt. Not like RocketCon did. I don't feel sick at all, which is nice because
you
I know
just
Monday
drove in
morning.
last night, didn't you?
I got in at 5 this morning.
Okay.
It's currently where we're at 11. So in between 5 and 11, I got a nap, woke up, went back to bed again, got a little more of a nap, and now, hi, I'm here because I said I was going to be here.
We could have canceled.
I could have, but I don't want to. We're going to end up canceling the. Well, I'm not going to cancel it, but I'm not going to be able to make the Among Us game on Friday because I'm off to another con. So.
And which one's that?
That one's going to be Creators Con in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, the far.
Yes, the faraway one, the one I get to fly to, the one I get to hang out with Evil Ted and Stephen K. Smith from SKS Props, and yeah. And they're starting to put their itinerary out. There's going to be a 9 p.m. Trivia contest with alcohol. It's like, all right. This is it's a con that never ends. No, it's all good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Sounds like it's going to be fun.
I think it will be. There's a lot more going on than just that. There's 2 different stages with panels and stuff happening on both stages. It's all about buildings. There's a lot of participation stuff, and I'm just really curious. Yeah, really kind of excited for this con. I'm really kind of curious how it's all going to fit because I look at the schedule and go, wow, this is a busy con.
Yeah. How do you do everything?
Right. How do you can't. So that's this Saturday the 9th. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd the Proton Packs go?
They're did I put them in the shredder again? What? Oh.
I don't see them.
Oh, well, while I'm briefly talking about, I'll grab the Proton Packs. I was really kind of amused that while at WonderCon, I ran across one of these. It's the official knockoff of our Among Us costume.
Love it. That's okay. I knocked them off first.
Yeah, right.
Stole it from their sumo suit and daffed it.
You pretty much, yeah, but still, it's.
I love it.
It was great because look at it and hey, look, it's got some of the same pucker problems.
Right.
They put zippers in for the arm. In the princess seams for the arms.
And we could have done that, but that was a little more than what we wanted to do at that point.
Pretty much it was, yeah.
We were just being lazy.
And they also moved the inflator up above because we had it. I think I put it low or I put it in the backpack or something. So
yeah, we put it at the bottom of the backpack.
Right. So they have it up high above the head. So I don't know if that helps or I don't see how it necessarily would make a difference. Maybe it does.
It looks pretty inflated to me, so I think it works.
I think it works. And out of all the different friends I ran into, one of them was Frankly Built. So I'm sure Frankly Built is not watching today. He's probably asleep. But hello, Frank, and it was awesome getting to talk to you again. Here he's not quite dressed up as Moon Knight. He's missing all the extra parts. But of course, he was also wearing his Iron Man suit. And yeah, a lot of fun because he's got a really nice Iron Man suit. It was actually showing me more this time how he gets because his face pops out and lifts up. like it's supposed to, right? And he was showing me how he's got things hidden in order to make it do that.
Because we're not in a computer-generated world that automatically, like, CGIs that.
Right, exactly. So, and they didn't do it in the movie, you know, or maybe they did, but it was, you know.
Did they? I don't know.
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if that was digital double or if they actually made one, but so I shouldn't say they didn't because I don't know.
Right? How practical is it?
How
the
practical?
lines are so blurred.
Very. Alrighty.
Wow, everybody's saying hi.
Everybody's saying hi. Trash Panda says, "Yay for lazy days." Hello, Trash Panda. How's Tuesday?
Yes. I'm all for a lazy Monday.
Yeah, I'm all for a lazy Monday.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. I would have never guessed.
And when 1 o'clock rolls around, I got 2 packages to open. Ooh. Or you can open one and I can open one since there's 2 packages.
Yay for naps.
Yay for naps. Oh yeah, napping is going to happen. As soon as we sign off, naps. More naps. But until then, tea. Thank you, Moon Eyes 2K, for tea. I'm having the smoky Earl Grey today.
Nice. So, on Discord, somebody shared a link on different textures and ways to add
Yes.
textures to foam, and that was a really interesting video.
I saw that got posted, but I was, you know,
On out, yeah.
on an away mission. So
Out and about.
out and about.
Side quest.
Side quest, exactly.
Yes.
As I continue to just, yes, exactly. So I have not seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I watched it, and
Okay.
I think they had a lot of great textures. A little too much for what we're doing,
Okay.
because we have to be a little more subtle.
I felt like it should be a little more subtle. And the Proton Packs I saw for the different Ghostbusters groups in LA, they were all very subtle.
Because
The texture.
honestly,
A lot
I
of it
don't
just
think.
painted.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's mostly just painted would be fine.
Right.
But the fact that we've been so obsessing over it, my favorite of those options was the baking soda.
How fun would it be to only texture some of the parts, but not all the parts? Like the Cyclotron
Yes.
gets textured, but the back plate doesn't get textured.
Yes, because I feel like some pieces would be real cast aluminum, where some pieces wouldn't be. They would have been
Okay.
made out of.
It would be made out
Of
of
a different
Yeah,
process.
milled out of something or.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the big circle disc is the biggest part, where I would be adding texture if it needed it.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And not a lot. Like, that guy did really great big texture, and I think would be great for, like, backdrops of a set.
Okay.
You know, like when you're texturizing back pieces that you actually need it to show up on.
Right.
Versus fine details where you just want it to look a little more realistic.
Right. You just want the light to reflect off of it a certain way.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to be able to put that black paint just, psh, and then it has something that just is not flat, right?
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing.
I know, trying to explain that. But I think the baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda
Okay.
gives it that sandy, powdered, cast look without being too much. I don't know. Those are my
Okay.
opinions.
Because the soda. Hello, frogs. Because the soda doesn't dissolve as much in the fluids, or.
Well, technically, baking soda does
Yeah.
dissolve in water, but it's not. It doesn't like dissolve in the
In the paint.
paint.
Okay.
I've made clay out of baking soda, like
Mm-hmm.
made Christmas ornaments and stuff, and it has kind of like a porcelain texture when it's fully dried. It's sparkly too. I like it sparkle.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I don't know. I've used baking soda before. It doesn't dissolve as much as salt.
Okay.
Making same kind of ornament doughs,
Right.
baking soda doesn't dissolve as much as salt does.
Salt does. Okay.
It's different. Their textures are different. Anyways.
Well, for a
technically-
texture, that's probably the easiest one to find.
Yeah, technically baking soda is already a rock. They just dig it out of the ground as...
Okay. Sodium bicarbonate? No, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It is actually sodium bicarbonate?
Something like that. They'll correct us if you're wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
No, Odin is sodium tricarbonate. Duh.
no, there's only 2. It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I I just like the texture look of that one for that piece for that weird reason.
My phone, I have it over here.
Because I overthink these things, and I appreciate that they sent that link, so I watched it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And it was a Van Oaks props link that they sent, and I've seen plenty of Van Oaks props videos, and they're good videos.
Yeah.
You guys got great information.
Yeah, if you want to add some bigger texture, I love his solutions, like even just using spray glue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, just spray glue.
Yeah.
And then paint over it. Yeah.
That was brilliant. I was like, oh yeah, I hate that when I don't want it, but I love it.
Right. I love it because that's gonna look good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it could be as subtle as that, to spray gluing other textural stuff on, like he did powdered wood filler. That was just a little not the right texture that we were looking for, but it was a great texture. I was like, ooh, that's great for some realistic looking props.
Okay. I've actually, early on when I couldn't necessarily find plaster of Paris, or I kept reading that I had to get the dental stone stuff, the stuff that was harder than plaster of Paris, but I couldn't find it because I didn't know where to find it. I remember making my first few molds using that powdered wood putty because it was stronger and it worked just like plaster of Paris. You just get this yellow mold instead of a...
I've never played with it. It seemed like a fun one to play with. Huh. But yeah, and then they just got more and more textural from there, and there were some good options, but they were more on the cast iron look versus the cast aluminum look.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
I get more...
It's fun. Every time you talk about cast aluminum, I'm picturing a cast iron pan.
Yeah.
It is a different look.
I'm imagining car parts.
Yep.
That's what I'm picturing, cast aluminum car parts, when you have the whole, like...
Textured cast aluminum car parts. Do you remember Saturn as a car company? This is like 90s. They, in order to make their engine blocks, in order to bring the cost of the vehicles down, they actually cast them in aluminum, and they did lost wax casting, which is where you take an object and you encapsulate it in encapsulate it in plaster of Paris or some other stone, and then the styrofoam blank that you have, burns away when you pour molten metal into it. Mm-hmm. Right? It's kind of a way of making jewelry, but they were doing it for engine blocks. And then they would go back and mill out all the holes and stuff so it would actually fit what it needed to fit. The end result was your car had an engine block with a styrofoam texture on it, even though it was metal. So you go and look at one, it's like, oh look, it's styrofoam. that beaded texture, yeah.
That stuff fascinates me.
Yeah, it was a fine idea. Much better than, but whatever.
Are Toby and Bruno there? Sorry, I left them at home. They did want to come, but I was running late, and It's kind of raining.
Is it? Okay.
It was sprinkling when I started to leave, but it wasn't sprinkling when I got here.
Okay.
So.
Well, Mechagodzilla is still in the back of the truck, so hopefully it's not sprinkling too much.
I wouldn't leave him there.
All right. Maybe I should take 15 minutes to go bring Mechagodzilla into the loading dock.
I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, I cannot stop.
Eon.
Eonolith.
There you
sorry.
go. That's all right. You're sorry, Eonolith?
She says, "Oh, she's sad that the Toby and Bruno weren't here." I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I just didn't want to deal with wet dogs.
Right.
And you don't want to deal with wet foam.
I don't want to deal with wet foam. So if you guys give me just a couple of minutes, I'm going to go run an errand while we're alive, and Felicia will talk to you through chat. This is one of the benefits of being a patron. You get to watch me duck out.
I'm sorry. I can't let that just be destroyed because it is raining. And if it's not, it's going to be while we're talking. And if he doesn't do it, it'll rain. It won't rain. And if he doesn't do it, it won't. Whatever. Baking Lee Brainwifes. Butchering your name as usual, saying, I've spent the morning making replica English Melton Marbre style pork pies. I say replicas, other maybe call it baking. Oh, that sounds yummy. Did you make them from scratch? Or were they like the frozen kind? And Eonolith, yay! And I don't mind you butchering my name. If it's easier, my real name is Ariana. Did I say that right? And Will Connors, go save Mechagodzilla. Sorry, you guys are stuck with me, but Mechagodzilla is important, so he needs to go get that. Oh, Lee, you made it from scratch. That's awesome. I hope they taste good. And the crust is flaky? And I said Ariana correctly. Yes. And Shady Dragon says Odin saved Mechagodzilla. Yes. Odin should save Mechagodzilla. It is raining. Okay. Let me go back and see what everyone was saying. J Prop Shop says, that's a cool mug. I think so. J Rig Props, I can hear, but I can't see because we weren't on yet. Stupid Monkey says, hey y'all. Iana Liz says, I see Felicia's shirt. Thank you. Lee Brainwife, morning all. The Trash Panning Panda, morning all. And J period, good morning everyone. And I think he read these comments, so. And Lee says the crust is very flaky. It uses hot water crust, which is made with lard. So it must be very flaky. Yes, there's definitely a difference of texture between lard and butter. But I feel like butter never is wrong with anything. Alright, well, I'm going to pull out Mechagodzilla's. Not Mechagodzilla, Proton Pack instructions so we can figure out where we're at. We left off last week with steps number 12. If you want a rounded edge, you can do it with a rotary tool now, and I apologize for last week of how much rotary tool there was. It was a whole stream of screaming. I'm sorry. But now it's done, so we're not going to do that anymore. Not this stream. This stream we have LEDs to work with, possibly. And then we'll be doing the assembling of the parts. Ooh. Which is Chapter 8 in Lost Wax Oz's video that we're copying. Shady Dragono says, you can call me Shady, LOL. Well, thank you, Shady. And then Strict Aphid says, making pie from scratch is fun. It can be. I wasn't a big fan of pie until Pushing Daisies, and then all of a sudden just watching that show made pie look so delicious. Yeah. Stupid Monkey, hee Mechagodzilla armed with a Proton Pack. There you go. Trash Panda still loving the fact that there's a binder for this build. Yes, I work out of binders. Or notebooks. But yeah, we got a binder going. And Jerry Rig Prop says pumpkin pie is the best. I don't know. Sweet potato and pumpkin pie are on par with each other to me. They're different, but they are both amazing in kind of a similar way. Although, if you ask my mom, I will always say lemon meringue is my favorite, Mom. It's the one she likes to make the best. Shh. But yeah. Okay. Hopefully today we'll be taking the separate components and putting them together. Before starting gluing, it's a really good idea to lay them out and make sure they actually fit together properly. If not, it's better to know now than later. I think we have to adjust a few things because I was noticing we were just a little off. Not in a bad way. I don't know if we're ready to put pieces together. Hey, how was it? Did it get rained on?
Nope.
Because it definitely was raining over where I was.
Okay, no, the ground's totally dry, and I still see a lot of blue, so the rain hasn't got here yet.
Okay.
And I would venture that with the way the temperature is, that it hasn't rained. If it rained at all last night while I was, or for the last 15 minutes while I was asleep, it was very, very light and not a big deal.
All right, but you got it out, so.
I got it out. Everything's in the loading dock now.
I figured if you did it now, it's not going to rain.
Exactly.
But if you didn't do it,
It would pour.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. This was in the car too, I kind of forgot about.
What is that?
This is a reprint. Here, on the wrong side. This is a reprint of the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla theatrical movie poster, the Japanese version.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Does that have a place already?
No, I
No.
need to get a poster frame for it and hang it up. I don't have a place for this yet. But this was one of those gifts that the two guys I went with, they grabbed for me before the con even started. So this is Thursday. The con doesn't even officially start till Friday. And they come walking up to me with a huge grin in their face. Here, we got something for you.
Nice.
Yeah. There it goes. Come here.
Be careful.
I'm trying. I'm just, you know how you twist the paper to make it smaller?
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do, but it's still not really behaving.
I'm watching you suffer. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. So is everyone else. All
Yeah.
13 other people watching.
Don't worry, we're live.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're just talking about pie.
There we are. Oh, are we? All right.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of pie?
Cooked? No. Let's see. There's probably a pie that isn't cooked. Oh, pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Easily. Pecan pie is my favorite pie. I
I
don't
feel like that one
always
can go
get it.
wrong so easily, but when it's done right, it is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, I enjoy a lot of different ones. I like apple. I like a lot of but
Yeah.
my easy go-to is pecan. And something I've noticed that was nice. As a snack, I would just get dates and pecans, and one date and one pecan tastes like pecan pie.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Well, there's a healthy snack.
Well, healthier than pecan pie, anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see. Thank you.
Oh, that is quite impressive.
So according to the movie poster, he spits fire out his nose, and pretty sure he had laser come out of his eyes. But yeah,
I think this needs to go behind him up on display.
I think so too. I'm gonna. I'll go ahead and get a frame for it, so it's not just tacked up, teenage style.
But
And
that is a style.
it is a
look.
style. I'd rather not, because no, it's pretty cool. It really is. It's yeah. I like it. I can't read it at all. that more or less says Godzilla. So I suppose that's Godzilla, and I guess XH Godzilla is Mecha Godzilla, right? Theoretically.
Smile and nod.
Smile and nod.
Well, one of these things is called the tree, and that's about as much as I know.
Oh, okay. That's actually more than me.
Yeah.
Cool. So thank you, Captain Splody. Thank you, Jared Falcon.
Yeah.
It's
Super glary.
Super glary.
Super glary.
Good for you for actually trying to look at the
Monitor, so
reference
see what they
monitor
can
and see how well things can be seen.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Right.
One of those fun things that friends get for you, where I probably would never have bought it. I would have just looked at it and go, "Oh, that's kind of neat," and
Right.
walked away from it. But no, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think Mechagodzilla has a little backdrop piece.
Yeah.
He has a stage now.
There's a stage. Yes,
he has a
does.
stand. He has a
A
stage,
stand.
and now he has a backdrop.
Yeah.
I'm appreciating this whole thing going together.
It was great fun talking to the hero. So the whole reason I was at WonderCon was to be in the Hero Within booth. This is a clothing company that makes jackets and pants and fancier shirts. Stuff to be little more casual, not quite, but still kind of nerdy. So they're not reproductions of stuff. They're things that are inspired by. So they just got the Toho license. So they had a really cool Mothra jacket. They have a very nice Godzilla jacket, but it's only available in white. So it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And don't get me wrong, sir. It looks good on you. All I see is lunch down the front of me.
I cannot own white pants for
No.
that. Yeah.
And there's like a Rodan jacket. And I was talking with the owner because he was there. And he was thinking heavily already about a Mechagodzilla jacket of some sort. He doesn't have one in the works yet. But we talked
A
about
metallic denim with...
Well,
Anyways, yeah.
well, one of the things I suggested was, well, why don't you make it reversible? You just make it, the Godzilla green on the outside, and then you turn it inside out, and it's the Mecha Godzilla on the inside, because that's what the character does. And he goes, oh, I've done reversible jackets before.
I love this. That sounds like a lot of fun.
So yeah, huge thank you to Hero Within for sponsoring me to be at the con. So that was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You were giving them a bedtime story, reading from the book.
Yes, of where we're at. You know, last week we used a whole bunch of rotary tool
We
for
did.
people's ears, but we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Not right now.
Not right now, because we did it
I can bring it out and just turn it on and leave it on.
the whole stream and walk away.
Yeah, with the air gun and the rotary tool and the Dremel and the heat gun that'll run for about 5 minutes. And
Yeah, so we got to put the LEDs and the gizmos and gadgets inside, and then it's time to like start putting all the separate components and putting them together. Before we start gluing, got to lay them all out and make sure that
Okay.
everything's kind of where it needs to be-ish.
so we're not putting any of the circles or anything on the cyclotron yet. Okay.
This, after it's all together, then they're adding the pipe, the filter,
Okay.
and other bits. Should we put on the other bits and build the other things first and then stick them together?
Not necessarily. You can do it in the order he says. I've been on the road. I haven't watched this video at all in the last few days. So
Yeah, because I think to the piece that has no name,
there's only one piece that has no name.
the piece that has no name, it's referenced about 3 times right there in
Yeah.
bold.
Start picking with the piece that has no name. I have to pull out my computer to see what the heck we're talking about, or the phone. Might be able to just do it on the phone. It's not listed there. You'll need backplate all the assembled parts. All right.
But we just wondering if it says piece that has no name. You know?
That'd be nice.
Right. We have the reference things so that we can reference them. Generator, quick generator, power cells, power cells. These are all labeled for pieces. Grain elevator, ramp sides.
Ladder.
They all have names so far. Cyclotron thing. Backplate. Is this the piece that has no name?
No, that's the continuation of this piece, the part that goes around the top.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't think it is.
So far, that's the only one that doesn't have a name. I'm gonna guess that that's the piece
I'm
with no
gonna guess
name.
that's yeah.
Because what would you call it? It's that piece in that.
All right.
At least that's my guess. That's okay. We could be wrong live.
Okay, viewers, we are guessing, without actually going and doing any kind of research, that this is the piece with no name. It's the one that fits kind of there-ish.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Click.
We already put the LEDs, the blue ones, in, didn't we?
No, the LEDs aren't in, but we've
Put
got
the blue filter.
we put the blue filter in. Yeah.
Sorry for talking over you there.
No, that's okay.
Because right now we should be putting in the LEDs now,
Okay.
but I feel like if we're putting in LEDs, we would also be putting in our
We want to put in the blue LEDs.
the motor and
Oh,
for
okay.
all the other electronics.
Right. Well, I'm not prepared for motor and a whole bunch of
Exactly.
other things because I wasn't afraid of doing some of that stuff later, but
Because you don't mind digging back into
I don't
it.
mind digging back into it exactly.
Okay.
Now, if you want to do lights, that's fine. I can. Oh wow! More packages.
Somebody just came in, by the way.
Right, the mailman just came in.
So
Wow. All right.
yeah, so we can do the LED lights, which is technically the next thing in step number 12.
Okay.
And then 13 is putting it all together, like gluing all the big pieces together.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were that far. You know, we've been doing this like 8 weeks now.
Something like that. Yeah. This is step 8 of more cyclotron parts, as far as I knew.
Yeah, but step 12, so the LEDs.
Okay. Well, let me.
He said he found that my LEDs were much too blue, so I used translucent red folder and cut some discs from it and glued it over the top of the LEDs. That sounds weird.
My LEDs are much too what?
Blue.
Blue.
Didn't we want blue ones?
The red folder. Well, not if you're gluing them into the. Cyclotron. Those should be red.
Okay, then that's...
So maybe his red LEDs were still a little too blue for him, or it's a typo.
Or they were, yeah, they needed a red filter.
Yeah, which is fine. I've got a red filter.
Yeah, I assumed that we could steal one from somewhere in this building.
Oh yeah, well I've got some PVC red filter up there. Acquire. There's plenty of diffusion paper.
Yeah,
and
like
diffusion.
assuming it's floating around all over the place. Yeah.
This is not hard.
No. So, lights, cameras, action. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have a box of LED lights and strips and stuff.
Well, yeah.
And we are going to be doing it in the. Do we need the foam pieces? We're going to be doing it in yet.
Probably.
Okay.
I want them pretty quick. As I'm way off camera trying to talk.
What are you trying to do?
Wow. What were we just talking about? LEDs and...
We're going to be doing some LEDs.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to be putting these in the Cyclotron.
Right, okay.
We're step 12 in the binder.
Step 12 in the binder with whatever the video says.
We're after rounding the edges, so now... so remember how we were going to put the Mylar on the inside to make it glow a little bit more?
Yes.
I think that's kind of where we're at on all of this.
So we're looking at doing the tubes, and which is what I was mentally thinking about while you're talking about it. Okay.
Yes.
So for the LEDs that I'm planning on using, it's just strip LED. There's nothing to see, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Okay.
But these are the WS2812B LED strips, and they are 5 volt. This particular style, the WS2812, are individually addressable LEDs.
So you could cut them?
So you can cut at each of these 3 segments.
That's so fancy. Like, this is exciting.
Yeah. No, it is. It is actually pretty exciting. It's pretty cool.
Right? This is like what I wanted like 10 years ago.
Right.
For a project I was working on, that it didn't quite exist like this.
I'll need to go order some processors. I don't have the one that works really well with the Bluetooth mechanics.
Okay.
I used one on a project that then went away, right? So I don't have it here with me anymore. I gave it to Sean. So I need to order a couple more before we can actually run the Proton Pack. But all it is we need 3 wires connected to the LEDs so they can go to the board. So we have positive and negative power, and then there's a data line.
Okay.
And the data line, through whatever magic of electronics, is telling it when to be on, when to be off, how bright it is, and what color it is. And so we have full RGB control.
And that's where you can control it by your phone?
And that's where you can control it by your phone. Yep.
You
have to pre-program it. You don't get to. I mean, you can have some pretty really color wheel control, but from what I was seeing and remembering, or at least my understanding, it's more like you have pre-programmed sequences and you can easily switch between those sequences.
That's easier than trying to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
So, yay.
So yeah, and
get some LED bulbs.
Check. Got it.
Wire up the LEDs and push one through each 4mm hole. Leave the electronics lessons to someone else. I know just enough to be dangerous.
Alrighty. So we want to they're fairly bright. That's probably fine if we want to do just one.
Do you want to try and do more and make it a super bright pack? I'm fine with like overpowering it.
I wouldn't be opposed. Well, how big are the holes? I wouldn't be opposed to maybe 2, because if it's too bright, we can make it dimmer.
Okay.
All right, because we can control the brightness. So yeah, I was even thinking 3, but I think 2 is probably fine, because you also end up with an issue of you put too many lights on a string, and now you're drawing too much power, right, to make them all light up.
And is it really all?
Yeah, is that really going to help? And even if they're not super bright, you're still drawing that power, right? So
yeah, so.
But these are fairly bright. We could probably just do 1 and be good. But I think I'd rather do 2.
Let's do 2 because you can and we have it, and yeah.
Okay.
If we didn't have it, I'd be like, 1's fine. But since we can, we might as well.
All right. So I got to cut up. Do we want to still use the PVC pipe? Because that means I got to go cut 8 pieces of PVC pipe, which is fine.
How did they do it again?
I would have to look at the video.
Yeah. Because...
What's funny is I wonder if they're telling us in chat we're not even paying attention. Nope.
No. The Trash Panda saying Miss Panda makes an awesome kangaroo and rosemary pie. Yum.
Oh.
That
Okay.
sounds interesting.
We're talking about pie again.
Stupid Monkey Odin, what's your shirt? I feel like I recognize it but can't place it.
Oh.
It is KFC Getting High.
It is not KFC Getting High. Stupid Monkey, you are one of the people who would recognize this shirt, having talked to you. Anyway, this shirt is Bob Wilkins from Creature Features. So it's just the green version of him smoking his stogie, wearing his big glasses, and talking to us about Frankenstein. And Bob Wilkins was a 70s late night television host for monster movies and horror films just before Elvira. So she came along and did the same thing, sort of. But she had more skits and had a lot more personality than Bob did. I mean, Bob was a really nice guy, right? But he was very laid back with his style and a very minimal set, whereas Elvira was not minimal.
No.
No.
But why?
Yeah, but
She
why?
didn't need to be.
So he was one of the slew, and there's also Svengali. There's a lot of different late night horror movie hosts. So I'm not trying to say Bob was the original. It's just Bob was the first one I saw, so that makes him the original in my mind. Anyway, it was a really cool shirt to find at the con, and that's who it is. It's Bob Wilkins. There was a period of time back in the late 90s, I actually got to go to a live Bob Wilkins show here in Sacramento. So there was a friend who collected 16 millimeter film, mostly the old stuff from TV, because until videotape really came along, and this is up to the early 80s, the local TV stations were still running 16 millimeter film, and they would just point a camera at the screen, and that's how they would broadcast the television signal.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Not remember it happening, but remembering that fact.
That's how they kind of did it.
Yeah.
There was more complicated machines that other stations could use, but most of the UHF stations, they pointed a camera at the screen, which is fine. So Scott would run his old 16 millimeter reels, and then that would run for 12 minutes or however long a reel was. And then when he had to change reels, lights would come on. Bob would sit in his chair and talk about what was coming up next or what there was, or would talk to the crowd. And then Scott would play something else. So we didn't watch a full movie. It was just like a reel of this and a reel of that and some old commercials and some old commercial bloopers. And
Interesting.
yeah, it was a really cool show. And it was the one and only time I got to see Bob Wilkins live. Yep.
That's awesome. Stupid Monkey says, your plan was used to the PVC with the shiny tape inside. I remember
That's
that
what I
was
thought.
our plan. I don't remember why we came up with that plan. But it seemed like a good plan at the time.
It did. And I'm fine with going with that.
Yeah.
All right, Lost Wax Oz. There's the Proton Pack. Is my audio off? Yeah, my audio's off. I'm not going to blast the
camera
microphone with skip ads. Hey, look, we're working on the Cyclotron. Hit 2.
Hit 2.
Here. Right, so this is... Oh, he actually broke the individual LEDs out. Right, okay.
I probably would have used a flashlight for each hole. Just because they looked about the right size.
Oh, that'd be so bright. But yeah, they did look like the right size. And I've got some of those flashlights. Those are like $1 flashlights.
No, I know.
Although that exact style with the 7 LEDs are getting hard to find now because they're all one COB LED in the middle. All right, I did all that. Oh, he's just got one little hole. Well, I made a big one.
Oops.
And there's the folder. Right, this is why they were too blue, because he's just using flashlight LEDs, and they're just... Oh, he's got 2 in a hole. Look at that. Or is that my bad vision?
That's your bad vision. I'm sorry.
Darn it.
So everybody, we're watching YouTube live on YouTube.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, I'm happy. I'm caught up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, we are so not here today. It's
Nope.
okay.
That's okay. Hopefully people are laughing at us, and that would be really, it'd be very, very, very good. In just a second, we'll get to huff solder fumes, which is great fun.
I've never soldered anything, so I'm actually really excited about
Oh,
this.
okay, cool.
Like really excited because there's been a lot of things that I've wanted to add lights to differently than I've added them. If that makes any sense.
Totally does. Hey,
Yes.
you know what?
What?
It's noon.
It's noon?
It's noon!
My paintbrush just fell out of my head. Ugh.
Does your paintbrush have bristles? Oh, it does.
Yes, it's a paintbrush. So it's noon. We can let people over.
We can let people over.
We can go live.
Yep. Visibility. Public. Done. And since I forgot to add playlists last time, I think we're going to do
That one.
Ghostbusters and Livestream. Done. Save.
So we're live now.
We're live now.
Welcome
How
everybody.
interesting that it doesn't look good here, but I'm on.
Are you on good quality?
I'm on streaming high.
Okay.
It just hasn't. Makes me worried. Oh well. Monkey is right. What was Monkey right about?
About our plan to use the PVC.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So we are kind of completely deviating from his plan because we've already cut our holes bigger and we were going off on a tangent. So it sounds fine to me.
Yeah. Make it our own. Okay.
That's what our plan was originally. So
This is true. It was. All right.
we need to cut out the PVC pipes and then put the Mylar on the inside and then wire some of those thingies.
Where did that cord go? I'm making here.
So you're plugging this one directly in
So I'm gonna plug this one directly in. Yes.
so that you're not draining all your batteries.
Right. Although the battery lasts really well, and we would certainly survive the stream with one charged battery. Just my brain likes to be plugged in, and the only minor complaint I have is it still has the energy saving circuit. So even though we're plugged in, it'll still power down to conserve battery power.
Well, it also powers down so it doesn't burn down in your house.
Well, okay, that's fair.
I was like, why are you dumping water on electronics? But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a little sponge in there for. Just go ahead and there it is. Turn it on. I'll start warming it up now out of habit because of how many soldering irons I've had in the past. They take forever to warm up. What's fun with this one is it warms up a bit faster, and half the time when I'm shooting, by the time I'm ready to start using it, it's already cycled into the power down mode and I have to wait for it again. So let's just get going on that. We got some residue on this. It's getting warm. Oh, actually, it's getting hot. Don't touch the end of your soldering iron, kids.
Okay. Jerry Prop says, let the floodgates open. And
Yes.
Shady Dragon O or Shady says, hey, hell, here comes the madness of everyone, lol. Schultz Division says, hello everyone, hope you're doing good for today. Myself is pretty sick with a fever. I hope you feel better.
Oh.
And Black Raging Art / April says, Odin, hope to meet you again at Oklahoma this weekend, driving from Dallas. This time
Wow.
I want a photo with you. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Who is this?
That is Black Raging Art / April.
Okay.
And
Yes, creatorsconvention.com. That's where to look up the Oklahoma Con and get tickets and yeah, it's all day Saturday.
what's that?
This is just a wire brush you chuck into your drill for stripping paint and stuff. But I'm going to use it to help clean the crap off the end of the.
It's like you've done this before.
Yeah, they actually sell like the steel wool. There's a fairly coarse bronze wool that they'll sell just for doing this. So you just stab it, and it just gets all the gunk off the end of it. And a lot of the gunk that I'm talking about is carbon, that'll build up, that'll be an insulator, and it won't melt as easily. I feel it won't melt styrofoam. It won't melt the solder as easily. Anybody who knows what they're doing, please correct me in the comments.
Hey, this is my first time. I'm excited to figure out how to solder. I made my brother solder my ring together. The pin one, the thimble with the cushion on it.
Right.
I made him stick that on a ring for me because I'm like, I need this and I need this stuck.
I need this stuck and I need to stay.
And I'm not using super glue.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so he soldered it for me.
Nice.
And I'm like, I need to know how to do this. I'm tired of asking.
Fair enough. So I'm doing electronic soldering, which is slightly different from...
no, that is different, but I still like lights in my stuff. So.
Yeah. I should have grabbed one other bit of wire when I was over there.
It's okay. Isn't this a bit of wire?
It is a bit of wire.
But the bit of the wrong wire?
Not necessarily a bit of the wrong wire. No, that's actually the solder, which is still technically wire, because...
Okay. Chloe Incarnate says, hey Odin, can I ask a favor? In the next stream, can you put the Patreon and Teespring links in the description?
You know, I probably should go and do that now, because you know what's going to happen next week? It's going to be 15 minutes to air, and I'm going to be madly doing stuff, and I'm going to forget to do that again. Yes, I can.
These are fun.
These are fun. These help a lot, because stuff gets really hot when you're soldering it, and it's nice to have little hands that help. Little helping, we're helping hands. So.
Yeah.
The wire I wanted to get was this wire. It's a 4-strand wire. We only need 3 of them, but all we got to do is remove the blue one, and we're good.
That's like licorice, sorry.
Kind of, yeah. It's very chewy. You need more copper in your diet, right?
Forbidden snacks.
Very much so.
These things are nifty.
Okay, so he's only got 1. I still kind of want to do 2.
Yeah, Chloe Carnate says, it just makes it easier for me to add plugs into Livestream.
Okay. I can appreciate that, Chloe.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you plugging the stream. We were looking at using... Yeah, this even has the... Yep, it's already got the
Mylar inside.
The Mylar inside.
But it's not to the edge.
That's okay. I don't think we want it that deep either.
No.
I think it only needs to be a little bit deep.
Yeah, it just needs to be enough to reflect the light behind it.
What's gonna be disappointing everyone is, even though we're gonna solder and put all this together, these aren't gonna light up today because I don't have a processor for it. Sorry about that. But yeah, that'll work. We'll just do 2. That makes it easier because we're only... Part of my brain wants me to cut the individual LED and bring it over so they're right next to each other. Well, they are right next to each other. Just in this list, so just cut it once and put 1 wire on and move on. There's 8 of them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make it not hard for ourselves.
Okay. So there's marks on the
Camera 2?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll actually be able to see it. You might be able to. But in between, with all the glare, with the strip of LEDs, there is these 3 copper lines, and there's a little tiny white line separating all of them. Not separating, but giving. It's a cut line, right? It's a cut here line is all it is. So all I have to do is, and now I have 2 individual
ruins
LEDs.
it. No.
I ruins it. It ruins it. It ruins it. So I have the 2 LEDs. There is still a direction of power, and there's a tiny, which I'm sure you can't see. There's a tiny little arrow on it. That's the direction it wants to go. So you want to wire it up here first and have it come out the other way. Ideally, I don't think it matters really that much, but that is the way it's done. And so on the 2 outside ones, you see
here,
it says... No, it's okay. We got... It's all right. Then we'll be able to see it. It's too far away. But I'm showing you. This side it says plus 5 volt, and then DIN, and then ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the red wire. DIN's going to be the green wire. That's the data line. And then ground is going to be the black line.
Okay.
right? So it's actually
In that order?
already in that order.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Could you change the order or change the colors, or do they need to be those ones specifically?
No, they can be any color you want. The color coding is just for the convenience of the human. As long as the wires are hooked up to the right pins on the board, doesn't matter what color you use. They can be individual strands of Cat5 wire. I just thought this would be a little more easier to use.
No, I'm all for easy. I just was asking.
No, it's a good question.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and put some very long leads on it because I'm not worried about how much wire I have. But that gives us nearly a foot, and if we put nearly a foot on each one, that'll reach most of the backpack, so we can put it kind of
Wired where it needs to go.
Yeah.
But he also stuck them all back together. Could you do that and then?
Yeah. Do you want? We can do that. I can do one lead where instead of having 4, we can do one and then jump to the next one and jump to the next one and jump to the next one. That's not hard, and actually is a better plan.
I'm more just whatever easiest.
No, you're right, because I'm thinking about wiring it how I usually do my just flashlight wiring, where I just wire a bunch of bulbs together and throw power onto it. These need to be in sequence so they light up correctly.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for helping me stay the course. So I'm going to take the end, which has the 3 wires, I'm going to separate them. Now I just need to take the insulation off, which is a really easy way to... they sell specialized tools for
I was going
this
to say,
too.
there's this really cool tool that looks like scissors, and it goes, whoop, and it pulls the edges off.
Yep.
I know what that is.
Yeah. So I get down to the individual wires. And one good plan to do with this is tinning. So tinning is where, you still on? To adjust the temperature to force it to
Stay
be
on.
This is a multi-strand wire, and tinning is where you're going to take a little bit of solder and put it onto the wire to start with before you start to attach it to something else. It's one of those magical things that helps.
You pre-put the glue on so it sticks to the thing you're trying to glue it to?
There you go, yes.
Okay. Stupid Monkey says sequencing is probably a better plan.
Yeah.
So,
I will
Stupid
trust,
Monkey thinks it's a good
I
idea.
will trust Stupid Monkey.
Yes. Vincent Duval says, I love Odin laugh.
Oh,
Odin's
thank you, Vincent.
So, aw. Marvel Guy, how's your day going, Odin and Felicia?
Really good. I got to sleep, which is pretty awesome, and now I'm doing a live stream. And I'm not gonna lie, I really look forward to doing the live streams because I love talking to you guys. It's sort of like a mini con every week. There's much bigger energy actually at a con, but it's the same type of vibe. So far my Monday's pretty cool. Immediately following the stream, I'm gonna have some lunch, and I'm looking forward to that too. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well myself.
Oh, good.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I appreciate that.
We're building stuffs. I'm learning how to wire.
Reach up and I think I hit it twice, right?
Which one? 4?
There, 4, yeah. Give it a second. It's still
Let it
wobbly.
stop
It'll
being
make them.
shaky.
It'll make them seasick right now.
From seeing too much.
It's actually kind of in the right spot too.
Right?
That's
like
sort
you
of amazing.
did it on purpose or something. All right, 2?
Yeah.
4.
4.
Okay.
So I've got my wire in. Got my helping hands, right, or the alligator clip thing. The wire in. I've actually already done these 3 because I was just doing it and talking away. But I've separated all 3, and then added a little bit of solder to the end of them. So you heat the wire up and add solder. It's kind of a mixture of the two. You're not supposed to touch the solder to the tip of the soldering iron, but I'm not patient enough to wait for the wire to warm up.
I have no idea these rules or anything, so you can do whatever you want, and I won't call you out for doing it wrong, but I'm going to try it next.
But they'll know.
Team Ghost says, careful, don't burn yourself.
Too late. I grabbed the tip of the soldering iron, remember? I'm not too bad, though. How wide are the buttons apart? Let's just do that. That'll be fine. So then, for the next one, we have the strip of the wire. So what I just did was, I've taken the blue wire off, so we've only got 3 strands. Hopefully you can see the 3 strands. This is as close as the camera's going to get. And then I'm separating an end. Separating an end. There we are. So now it's individual so I can get to it. And I'm actually going to do that to both sides of this wire because this is going to be one of the sequencings. Because that's a total word. Alrighty. If you want to click back to 1, I'll dig for a tool.
Is there a reason you did only one end of this one and you're doing two ends of this one?
Yeah, because that one's going to be the main power coming in.
And then now we're sequencing them from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't plan on soldering anything to the end yet, so I don't see the need to...
Do you need to strip the edges of these wires, and is it just like a 1/4 of an inch?
It is exactly that, and I was looking for the tool you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a wire stripper, and this little offset nut adjusts how big this hole's going to be. So you want to go to the flattest side to get the smallest one. And yeah, even then, it's an old tool, so you kind of have to go on an angle. You get just a little bit to come off. And I will start cutting another one.
Oh, well, if I break it, we have more. Shh,
Yeah.
it's a secret.
There's a spool here, whatever. The spool wasn't even that much. The spool was $20, something like that, for how many meters? 100 feet, so I don't know. 100 feet's like 30 cows or something. I don't remember what it is. There's a sign at the hotel that's for social distancing. And, you know, it's the keep 6 feet apart, which is 1 cow, or 4 dancing penguins, or, you know, because Americans will use anything but the metric system.
Right. We totally will.
Yeah, totally will. Awesome. As we cut stuff.
We can cut the things to go with them.
Yeah.
We're going to need 8 total.
We're going to need 8 total.
Okay.
So if you want to cut out 7 more pairs of 2,
I can do that.
I will strip these 6 wires.
The Mandalorian says Odin and Felicia are the way.
This is the way.
And then...
I saw a really, really good armor Mandalorian at the con. She looked really good.
Right here?
That's
Just
right.
double checking before I do.
Yeah, just right along the line. So you want to make sure you have enough of these
Both on either side?
on either side, because that's what we're actually going to solder to. Those are the
Okay.
connections. So as much as you can cut on that white line, you want to do it.
Okay.
We're close.
There is a bend on
We're
this
close
thing.
enough. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. These are they don't cut down the center. They're flat. So you put a flat on something, they cut on the bottom.
Yeah.
So they're not. Yeah.
Okay, I found that out.
That's
It
fine.
bothered
That'll
me.
work fine. That'll still work. There's
Yeah,
enough
there's
there, or we
on
just
either
put
side.
that one on the end where we don't need any more. One or the other. Because the very last one in sequence just won't have anything after it,
Yeah.
unless we add something to it. I think we want those, right?
Yeah. Oh, I found it.
Well, good, because my eyes won't see them down there right now.
There. Did you take one of them?
No. You need the first one we started with that had the solder in the
Because these
center.
are the 2 that I cut.
Right.
Did we knock that one down?
That's amusing.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, okay, got cut up. All right.
Yeah. I just didn't want to lose it yet. You
All
know,
right.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Shady's throwing out something.
He
I think.
has a 199 super chat saying, time to get that algorithm straight. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Shady, for the super chat.
Yes,
We
thank
do
you.
have some of the Gundam stickers here. We will break out a.
Oh, yeah. You got little stickers.
We'll break out our Ryobi permanent markers and sign the Gundam stickers. I actually sent a picture to my Ryobi contact. So the person I actually talked to represents Ryobi, right? She's not actually Ryobi. But in order, Hero Within didn't need power, so they didn't pay for power to con. By the way, you have to pay for power to con. You get it's called a power drop if you actually want to have that on the con floor. It's not just complimentary.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's fun. And even at, yeah, anyway, it's a standard thing. So Mechagodzilla's battery powered the entire time, and he was powered by Ryobi. So there's a Ryobi battery powering Mechagodzilla.
So how long did he last before he needed a new charge?
He lasted the entire con, and at some point before the next morning, he ran out of power. So he lasted more than 12, less than 24? I don't really know. But in order to make that work, I had to use some third-party materials, so I didn't know how concerned Ryobi was about. They make battery adapters so you can upgrade your power wheels or for like homebrew robotics. So it's a little.
Scissors?
You want scissors?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing scissors.
Okay.
I'm like, I could do a a straight line with a pair of scissors. Can I just use a pair of scissors?
Yeah, I'm just cutting electronics, so I use electronics.
I know, it makes more sense, but I am doing crooked lines and it's bothering me. And I know titanium scissors, oh, look at how much, that's a straight line.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
All good. Anyway, it's an adapter that fits over the Ryobi battery, and this is what I use to power Mechagodzilla.
So are we going to use these for our...
We could, that's why I bought 4 of them.
Okay, so we
and
have
also
power?
I have, what I put in Mechagodzilla as well was a little converter that would take a wide range of voltage, but only spit out 12 volt.
Interesting.
Which is what he needs for his eyes, because the eyes are truck lights, right? So the whole automobiles are 12 volt. And that worked really, really well. So we'll do the same thing, but get 5 volt ones. So all the, because the processor and all these LEDs and everything we put in it, as long as it's a 3 to 5 volt range, we'll be fine.
That's good to know.
Yep.
You could see the ones that I cut with the scissors versus the ones that I didn't, because they're like...
Okay, that's fine. It'll still work, as long as there's something to solder to.
Yeah.
Then we need 4 wires for each one.
Lee Brainwife.
Without looking at it, I'll say it wrong too, but it's weight is the second half. So it's
Breath weight.
Bright, yeah.
I've never understood why Americans insist on saying solder when it's spelled solder, which is how we English say it. Because I don't know what I'm doing.
No, American students insist on calling it soldering. Yeah, but it is soldering. Just like we don't say aluminium. I can't even say it intentionally.
Aluminum.
Yeah, we can't say aluminum properly.
Aluminium. Aluminum. Do, 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 do.
Yep. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jared Props asked a question, but I think you just answered it.
Oh,
It
okay.
says, hey Odin, what voltage do the LEDs run on and what battery do you use? All I can find is 12 volt ones.
It is a little hard. You can find 5 volt batteries. So I like the 5 volt batteries. I like the 5 volt LEDs because they'll work off of a phone charger. They'll work off of a pair of AAAs. Ultimately, the LEDs are all running off of about 3 volt, just in general. They do manufacture ones that take higher voltage, but ultimately they have resistors inside. An actual LED, just magically, they're almost always 3 volt. So yeah, just using the 5 volt one that wants 5 volt power.
Okay.
But if you run 12 volt into a 5 volt one, you'll burn it out, and it's it's not like it'll. It's not
Let's
happy.
not burn things out. Black Ragent Art / April. Odin, will you bring stickers or anything else to buy at CreatorCon?
Yes, I will. I will be bringing my stickers, and I've got 1 piece of carry-on luggage. I will load up with as many little props and things as I can safely chuck onto a plane, and then I'll put my clothes into a backpack I'll carry on. So, priorities. Yeah, I'll be bringing stickers, and yeah, I don't have much of anything else I can really bring. But yeah, I will. I'll have them all.
Awesome. One says solder.
Solder. Yep.
Yeah.
It is soldering, but it's soldering. I'm sure there's other things that Americans say wrong.
Color versus cooler. Color.
Right, we grew up to use in color in Dungeon,
Yeah.
and how do you know if those are said differently?
It's because they're cheaper to print when they charge per letter. So
Okay.
do you really need that U in color when
No.
it's cheaper to spell it without it?
Okay, was that really it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Back when stuff was paid for by the... Okay, that makes sense.
In all reality, spelling's so messed up that when people try and tell me I do it wrong, I go, really?
Really? What day of the week is it? What are the rules this week?
Right. Why? Leo Core Replicas has
Okay.
a $5 super chat
Oh, really?
and says, will the neutrina throwers be custom built or something like the Hasbro ones? New viewer to this build, so apologies if this was already covered.
We've only talked about it. Yeah, everything's going to be scratch built, because that's kind of what's fun for us to do. There are some really good neutrino wands. They've got fun, much like aluminium. There seems to be different ways of saying it.
I'm just tripping all over my tongue today, so there's
that's all
that.
good. No, we totally plan on building from scratch. And Lost Wax Oz has finished his tutorial on, I think it's finished, on how he's making his. So we'll just continue to follow Chris's example because...
And then butcher it as we go.
And then butcher it as we go.
Like we're doing today.
We've done it all along. When we did the Dragon Ball Z armor from SKS Props, we modified it.
In all reality, that's what I do with my props or projects in general. I'll watch a million YouTube videos and go, I'm going to do it my own way.
Right. I like step A here, step B here, step C there. I'll end up with the same thing, but it's going to be my own Frankenstein project. Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Saw so many cool cosplays that people came up and told me that, we were the inspiration for what they did. Never covered anything.
Yeah.
Never covered what they were doing.
Because you don't want to do what's already been done.
Not necessarily.
No, I know, but
I mean, you can if we're doing that right now,
yeah.
right? And if you're trying to get a project done, and yeah,
you can
whatever.
Totally, but I also feel like sometimes it's like you get the inspiration and you do your own thing. And
yeah, and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Are they all arbitrary?
There's only one that's a little bit longer.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, they're arbitrary. The short ones are all arbitrary. Well, there should be two that are a little bit longer. I think.
Yeah, I think that
those
one.
two are two.
Yeah,
and that
because
was
he's
my
one the beginning and end.
Yeah.
Is there only one end?
Correct.
I can make guesses.
You can. You pay attention.
Sort of.
Better than I do.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Awesome one says, all language is made up, consensus makes it real.
That is exactly right.
Marvel Guy says, I wonder if you still have Captain America's Wakandan shields. Before you say you're welcome, I want to say thanks. Did you do those? The Wakandan shields?
I misunderstood the question. I thought it was asking if I still had them.
Do you still have them?
Okay.
Or did those sell?
They didn't sell. They disappeared. I'm not sure if they disappeared at a con or if I loaned them to somebody who then disappeared, which is possible because I've done that. But I think, but it's really weird because they both disappeared, but like both the Bakugo gloves didn't disappear. So it was really weird, but they were probably packed on top of the box. It'd be a lot easier for them to disappear. No, they're gone, unfortunately. My Wakandan shields are gone.
But the video still exists.
Video still exists. Thanos helmet is gone, which that really bums me because Thanos is a fun one to cosplay.
Leo Core replicas. Will these be Ghostbusters 1, 2, or Afterlife packs? Oh, maybe convertible between all three.
Inspired by one, but
probably most likely like Afterlife because
yeah.
Those are based off of one, but end up being their own thing.
Yeah, exactly. End. I'm pretty sure Chris's version was based off of the original movie, and so we're copying his. That's kind of where we're going.
So we're going off the originals, but
we're already off the rails. So whatever. Part of the fun is you can do that. It's not. If I wanted to make a Spengler pack, I have a rigid thing I have to do. If I want to make a Ghostbusters pack, it needs to be recognizable.
Yep.
Okay, so to tin them, now that we've got all the parts cut, what we want to do is, I like using the helping hands because it holds the wire in place and I'm not going to burn my fingers.
Yay for not burning fingers.
Yay for not burning fingers. So I've got individual bits of...
I'm going to camera 4 for them.
That's fine. So I got my, it's just a, anyway, wires in the helping hands, and I got my solder, there it is. And I start heating up the wire, which doesn't take very long. I still got green on my soldering iron. And like I said, I'm impatient, so I kind of do what you're not supposed to do, which is touch the solder to the iron. You're actually not supposed to do that. But it seems to help transfer the heat to the strands of wire faster for me. Maybe it's just my patience. If you do it right, you're supposed to be on the other side, and once the wire heats up enough, it'll just wick it in, but I'm just going to... And anyway, we've got 8 sets...
flung off of there. Does that happen normally?
Yeah, that happens normally.
Okay, cool.
You can, fling it really hard and have hot solder land somewhere you don't want it to, and
Let's not
that
do
kind of
that.
sucks. But what's nice is Ryobi sent me 2 soldering irons, so we can both solder at the same time.
I want
if you
to
would
solder,
like.
yes.
Then here, I'll give you the big honkin' one because it's got a very consistent power. And so I've done this twice. Do you want me to? I've only got so much solder. I think I've got another little packet of it that I can grab, so we each have our own solder. Throwing all of your soldering electronic stuff into a cloth bag sucks. It was a convenient thing when I needed to go somewhere and do something, but trying to use it 4 years later as my organizational tool.
Well, you need to get everything set up in those buckets you got.
I do need to do that.
Godzilla Man 2000, why'd my question get skipped? It always does. I'm sorry, I don't know what it was, and things are moving.
That's pretty much it. We're both talking and trying to do stuff.
And thinking, and it doesn't always work.
And so,
Sorry.
as comments go by, we're not trying to single out anybody and ignore anybody's in particular. We just can't get them all. Which isn't to say, if you want to do a super chat, if you want to be called, I want to go out of my way to make sure to acknowledge all the super chats because those people are pretty nice and awesome for doing the super chat, but that is not required. Just ask your question, don't spam it, and we will hopefully catch it. At the same time, don't always answer things like, hey, how come you haven't made Star-Lord's Walkman? It's like, well, because I haven't yet. Sure, it's on the list, but haven't yet, so we may not necessarily address all requests.
Yeah, but Richard Stowe with the $2 super chat says, have you thought about making Maleficent stuff?
That would be cool.
Made her eat horns.
Made her horns, which is another one that disappeared. I lost like 6 things that particular day. It was Maleficent's horns, Thanos' helmet, one of Bakugo's gloves, both of Wakanda's shields, and something else I can't remember right now. And that was pretty. That really was not cool.
A little heart
Yeah,
wrenching.
a lot heart wrenching. So I don't have Maleficent's horns, which makes it kind of hard to get excited about making Maleficent's staff. And since it takes a week or so for me to put a project together, I don't want to do one I've done.
Especially since you already have videos you need to be getting out.
Yep, exactly.
New. Yeah.
Big bummer. Not happy about that at all.
Okay. So we have solder.
Yes, solder.
You have solder?
Actually, I have a wee bit of solder, and then I have another thicker stuff. I have the official solder that came with my Ryobi soldering irons, and then I've got a wee bit of the thin stuff.
Okay.
This little tube came from Harbor Freight Tools because it was a cheap, really thin solder, and for small electronics, a little thin solder is really nice because it goes quick.
Okay.
There we are. Now I'm warmed up and smoking. Which, smoking is not what you want your soldering iron to do. That just means it's got a bunch of crap on it.
Good to know. No smoking. Smoking's bad, people.
Yeah, smoking's kind of bad. You don't really want that to be happening. I think we've used this for poking holes in backpack webbing, so it's got nylons burning off of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking care of my tools. Thank you, Ryobi. All the Ryobi battery-operated tools are available at Home Depot, and by purchasing them from Home Depot, you also get the extended warranty. Not the extended warranty, but the warranty. There is a bit of a warranty that goes.
So
along
you
with
preheat up the wire.
Yep.
And then you touch the soldering iron to the.
So I'm touching the hot iron, and I'm just touching the wire a little bit.
I'm going to camera 2 so they can see what you're doing.
Sure.
While I'm watching you.
Okay. So I'm just touching it to the wire, which in theory is starting to heat up the wire. But then also I've got my solder, and if you're doing it correctly, you're on either side, and when the wire heats up enough, it'll melt the solder, right? And then it'll wick it into the wire and between all the strands of the wire. I'm impatient and also apparently a little shaky.
Oh, I'm shaky too, so good thing it's on you.
I'm gonna touch the solder to the end of the soldering iron as well as the wire which melts the solder, and it still wicks into the wire. But that is technically the wrong way to do it, and people who are really skilled at this will probably call us out for it.
Okay, well,
So
this is my very first time soldering people, so.
So if we call ourselves out for it, we're okay, right?
Well, I like that it does the wicking thing. That's cool.
Yeah. But this is still just tinning. We're tinning the wire. Doing this before we attach it to the electronics just makes it faster and easier to attach to the electronics. So this isn't exactly required. It's like we're not going to fail if we don't, but it makes it a lot easier when you do. Oh, actually, I've already tinned this side. That one's tinned.
I'm going to take off my jacket.
Alrighty. She's going to get serious and take off her jacket.
It's like, I got to focus. I need to turn the music down.
Right? Lean forward. So now the video game's getting serious.
Right. I'm trying.
Come on. My light's still strong. Why is this not doing the thing? Because I'm live on the air.
Right? It's intenseness. I'm like so glad the camera's on you and not me right now because I'm learning. I still haven't gotten one done. Shh, don't tell.
Yes. Did you do the whole melt thing? I remember joking around with, we're doing the Beyond Geek shoot for the floating to space. This is the guy who's using hot air balloons to do near orbit experiments. And he does PongSat, where high school students are allowed to put together any type of experiment they want to do as long as it fits inside of a ping pong ball. And so we had a recreation of students putting together the PongSats to help tell the story better. The one person who wanted to do the soldering, I remember walking up to her, so have you ever soldered before? And it's like, no. It's like, okay, well, it's just like a hot glue gun. You do the thing and it melts and you squirt it on what you need and then you're good to go. And then a little while later when we're trying to put the PongSat together, I was like, well, have you ever used a hot glue gun? She looks at me, no. I was like, well, it's a lot like soldering.
Oh, Lordy.
I felt like such a jerk dad at that moment.
Here, I'm going to go to one.
Sure. Wow, why is this not... Here we are.
I don't
Is
know.
it, no, the tip isn't loose. Some of the soldering irons, you can swap the tip out on them, and so if they're a little bit loose, they're not getting as good of a contact, and so they won't heat up. But I think that's more the cheap ones I used to get from that radio company that were put in a bunch of shacks that don't exist anymore. Yeah, I'm glad I gave you that one.
Why? Because it hasn't done anything yet.
Let's make sure. Unfortunately, it's in its cooldown mode.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is not getting hot.
So when the green light starts to slowly blink on and off, it's cooling down. Now that it's red and steady, it's warming up. When it's solid green, it'll be hot again. It only stays hot for like 5-6 minutes. Enough time that you can work, but if you set it down to do something else, you'll lose track of time and it's done.
Okay.
So, not your fault. It is on its power save mode, so you don't waste your battery.
Okay.
I keep checking mine. Mine doesn't change color. It just blinks its red light.
Okay. Fox Leader wants to know, did you make anything from Demon Slayer?
Yeah, I made a katana.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yep.
And Strict David says, I think he made Natsu's sword.
That's it. Thank you, Strict David.
Marvel Guy is wondering if I can maybe buy one of your props sometime. You have them on your Etsy?
I have a few props on my Etsy. I don't. They're not all on there, but I have a few of them on there. I haven't posted a new one in a little while.
You haven't made a new prop in a while, so.
Well, there's that too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, I'm learning to heal says, yay, I have totally missed the live streams I have for the last few weeks.
Oh, but yeah, you're here now.
Yeah. Shady Dragon says, don't forget to open the mail. That's not yet, though. We're there.
No, we got 20 minutes.
Right.
We'll totally open the mail. And another piece of ride while we were, so we got a lot of, we got some new toys to play with.
Yeah, your friend Waynard says Pico.
Pico! What's the whole Pico thing? It was just Waynard's thing. I'm not quite.
He has friends, okay?
I have friends. Friends have quirks. Welcome to,
You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose. You cannot pick your friend's nose, but you can
No.
pick their brain.
Yeah, you can actually. That makes a lot of sense.
I will get this done eventually.
Right.
Eventually.
It is okay. No worries.
Oh, look. I think it did some melty.
It's a melty. So one of the things I end up doing, like I was saying, I'm not patient, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to be patient and pretend like I'm going to do it the right way, but I
Fair
still
enough.
haven't done one yet.
All right. So I end up, I got the soldering iron touching the end of the wire, and then I come in with a solder, and simultaneously touch the wire and the end of the soldering iron, and that usually melts it pretty quickly, and you can see it spread into. Sometimes.
Oh, there he goes. It did it. Okay.
It did it.
Phew.
There you go.
Got hot enough finally.
It takes a couple of successes, like, oh, okay, that's how that works.
Right. There we go. Okay. Phew. 1, 2, and I can do it.
It's amazing how a hot soldering iron really helps.
Yeah, when it... Oh. I'm definitely going to be doing this more.
I'm really sorry that we don't get the instant gratification of making stuff light up.
That's okay. I soldered it to it. It stuck.
Okay.
Do I just melt it off?
Yeah, just melt. Just touch it. I actually.
There we go. Did it.
I just did it at the same time, actually, and I just, out of habit, touched it, made it remove.
Woo! Well, I feel like I need to stick those back together a little bit better. Oh. There we go. Oh, I did it. I feel so successful. I did one wire.
Right on.
Let me do the other side now.
My little piece of solder that I'm working on is running out. It's getting warm to hold on to. One of the benefits of the helping hands is the stuff is so small it heats up, and you ever heat up a needle to do something with it? You can't quite hold it in your hand because it's going to burn you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what's
I
going on.
usually use a pair of pliers. Do you have a pair of pliers?
Yeah. Do you need some pliers?
No, I have the whole roll. You're the one who has the little...
Oh, I see.
Do you
I'll
want
be
a
fine.
piece?
No, I'll just move on. I'll keep going until I can't, then I'll move on to the next
You
piece
can
that
just
I've
take
got.
a piss.
No, it's fine. I won't take a piss on that.
Piece of this.
If it's never not melting at the speed that you think it should be, check your LED that it's
Right.
not blinking.
Okay, it's not blinking. It should work right now.
There it goes. Come on. Go a little more.
Right. Hey, at least it's not as noisy as last week.
No, not at all. And somebody recently did, it might have even been Punished Props, somebody recently did a fun video with why does the smoke from a soldering iron always fly into your face? Because it does. And I've always
Because
figured,
you put your face right where it needs to go to see it.
well, there's that, but I
Oh.
think it's also convection. That you got this really wispy little bit of smoke, and then your body heat is creating a small current that pulls things to your face.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on.
It's just straight up attracted to your face.
It's just straight up. It is, because ideally you're not sucking in all these fumes. Solder anymore is all lead free. There used to be lead in solder, and then you're doing this melting thing and breathing in the smoke. Yeah. Let's hear it for 70s
so
solder.
should we be wearing face masks? I'm okay with throwing one on.
If you
I just wasn't sure.
So many people I see don't wear the face masks. So I'm
Because
not
I haven't really
too
been
worried about
smelling it, but I have also only gotten them done a couple.
I'm sure Stupid Monkey or Lee Braithwaite or someone else will let us know.
Flakes.
Yes, Lee Brand Flakes. Brain Flakes. Come on, melt.
Right?
Get that.
Made you. I get excited every time I see the smoke. It means it's, yay, it did it!
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I got to go down to DIY Prop Shop, right? I had to go down to Wilshire Boulevard to the Beverly Hills offices to do this. We were doing a Pay It Forward, Prank It Forward episode. So we're building this kid's superhero that he created, made a little book for. So we're making a super suit for him. He wasn't little, but anyway.
But I love kids superheroes.
Yeah. The director, when it was starting up, really wanted to go across the soldering iron. It's like, can we have it smoke? Then it's doing something in the foreground. That'd be really good. And we all look at him and go, that's actually bad. To have the soldering iron just sit there smoking.
Oh.
That's actually, because that's how you got crap on it, right? It's cooking the crap off. So that's actually bad. You don't want your soldering iron smoking.
Stupid Monkey says, I never wear a mask, although you technically have a ventilation. So we do have ventilation going on. So.
We do have ventilation going on.
Because I'm not smelling anything, but that doesn't mean there aren't toxic fumes. So
right.
I'm like, I don't know. The finished ones are going in that pile?
Mm-hmm. You can kind of tell.
And James Allen says, with the new solder, it's still recommended to wear a mask.
Yeah, you're still breathing in crap you probably don't want in your lungs.
Okay, well, let's not get some brain damage.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure this isn't like vapor mask. I'm sure the dust masks are fine. This is a heavier particulate.
Then I'll wear a more comfortable one.
And I'm fine if anybody wants to correct me on that, but I'm assuming that unlike an invisible vapor off like the chemicals, that the dust mask is fine for the smoke coming off of soldering. I think sometimes in my videos I wear the mask.
I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. I pretend I do and it works one time.
Hey, just pretend like you know what you're doing on TV.
There we go.
Work for William Shatner.
Right? Well, that's what acting is.
That's what acting is. It really is. I just enjoy his. He put out an album that was actually good with Beck doing the music, and one of the lyrics is, I'm not that guy on TV, so next time there's an asteroid strike, I'm not the guy to call. I appreciate your thinking of me, but I'm not the one to call.
It worked. The Dark Knight says, hi Odin, I'm a bit late, but I made it.
Awesome, hello.
And Richard Stroh wants to know, how will I get the sticker?
Richard Stroh. The stickers that we have, if you order them through Etsy, I'm just going to pop them into the mail using first class, just like mailing a letter or a greeting card. And I've been sending them out worldwide that way. And it's been working pretty good so far. If you come to a con, I can get it to you directly. So however you want to do it.
This is the last one.
That's the last one. Good.
Yeah. J-Rick Prop says, I don't want to wear a mask either. I just blow the smoke away.
Right.
Smoking's bad, people.
Well, yeah, pretty much is. Come on.
Woo! There we go. Alright, this is really fun. I'm like super shaky, but now that I'm doing it, I'm like, melt stuff! Let's do it!
You're making connections.
And this is nothing like hot gluing.
No. But it was a fun, dumb joke to tell a poor hapless person.
Right.
And I'm going to start doing the same thing to the cut pieces. Where on each of the copper beads, I'm adding a little drop of solder. And this is also why, when I'm making my produce videos, I don't show every little step.
Yeah, but on these videos we show all the boring stuff.
Yep. My uncle used to make sculptures out of solder.
It's blinking. I'm like, this is not getting hot anymore.
Oh. Yeah, all you have to do is either adjust the temperature or click it on and off, and that'll reset the... I just did mine too, so...
Okay.
I should have probably mentioned something to you.
Steve Early, I totally butchered your name, says, if you're only soldering a couple joints, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed a lot of, like...
Oh yeah, well, we've been working.
James Allen says, gotta go to work, see y'all.
Talk to you later. James Allen? Steve,
Yeah.
Steve Allen?
James Allen.
James Allen.
Yeah, that's what Shady Dragon O said, TTYL. Marvel Guy says about your foam helmets. I like Ant-Man, Star-Lord, and Thor's helmet from Ragnarok.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while since you did a helmet.
Yeah, it has been a little bit since I did a helmet.
Yeah. I know you were getting bored of doing helmets there for a bit because you felt like you were doing them just a bunch
Yeah,
of
I
them.
wasn't so much bored. I was just concerned that the channel was all helmets.
I feel like you can't screw up like, nobody's going to be disappointed you did a helmet.
No. I've got a couple I'm planning on doing. One I'm waiting for the movie to get closer. Another one I just need to take the time to start.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. So it was a studio like Odin's Bat Cave.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I would say so. That is a very good description of it.
Yeah.
He even has his giant penny over there.
Yep. This is a robotic dinosaur. And my truck's a pretty weak backmobile, but yeah.
Did help Barbie with her car. That one's ugly. I'm going to make it prettier.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yay.
So this
You do that so neatly.
Well, I've done 4 already. So this one's a little bit harder because you got the thin thing. You can... I'm just saying this because you can. I haven't done it
I'm going to
today.
put it so people can see what you're doing.
Okay.
As you're telling me.
Sure. We're going to do 2. I'm going to move the handle a little bit.
Yep.
So I've got my... is that all glare? Can you see individual colors? There we are, I think. So on this end, I've already got a little bit of... yeah, you're on 2. Which is fine. I've got tinning already on the copper attachments down here. So up on this end, I want to tin these 3 copper attachments, copper points. So the copper bit is just part of the strip, and it doesn't have any of the plastic lamination on it, so you can just solder to it. But it's sort of the same thing. I'm touching the 2, creating a little tiny dollop of solder, and then holding it for a second so the solder really heats up. Actually, it's not the solder that's heating up, it's the copper that's heating up. The 2 of them will bond. If you just touch it and move on, you'll get a little ball that sits on the surface that'll pop right off.
Interesting. So you have to heat the copper.
So you need to heat the copper a little bit, yeah. But it's kind of like with a wire where once the solder is melting, it seems to really help with the transfer of the heat and get it to stick better.
Kevin Weltzer says, I love the Bob Wilkins shirt.
Thank you. It's really cool that you recognize him, Kevin. Thank you. So now that I've got tinning on both sides of my little tiny 2-part LED strip, I can read, I know the camera can't, but it's 5 volt on this side, it's ground on this side, and DIN, data input, I don't know what the heck DIN's supposed to stand for, in the center. And so my plan is to use red for 5 volt, black for ground, and green for DIN. And if all of them are soldered the same way, they'll all be wired okay.
Okay.
Even though we can't light them up today because I don't have a processor, we can still bring out a little wire tester and make sure that we have continuity, and that'll work for us too.
Okay.
So now what I'm doing is
Here, let me put it back on the close-up.
adjusting the hands until I get the red wire. Are we? Yeah, we're kind of okay. So I'm working it to where the hands are holding the LED strip against the red wire. The two are actually touching each other, so they're making contact. Now I can just come in theory, and touch the existing solder. And when the two things melt, and you can actually see it, they fuse together, and we're done. Now the hard thing with this is because they're so close to each other is to not
Get them all stuck together.
Get them all stuck together, create a short.
Oh, it's like something I could do very easily.
It is very easy to do, but it's also not impossible to undo. And if by some miracle we manage to ruin one, we'll just cut some more LEDs. Okay, this one's, oh, there, finally started going. I gave up right when it finally started melting. There it goes. Ooh, that was neat. It went from being bright and shiny silver to dull.
Yeah, it oxidized really quick right there. It's fascinating.
One of the fun things with that I've kind of had to learn how to do a little bit with soldering is solder for a camera. It's real easy to solder, so it's easy for me to see what I'm doing. But then my hand's in the way, and the camera can't see anything. So I kind of got to solder away with my hands away so the camera can see the points. Yeah, that was fun to learn. But as I've joked before, now I'm up to the point that I unwrap my Christmas presents for the camera. So I'm unwrapping it in such a way that my family can watch me do it instead of just unwrapping my darn present. Occupational hazard.
Right? Here, do you want to use the easier stuff since I'm not
Sure.
doing it anymore at this point?
Right, well, I'm happy to let you do some more if you want.
I'm going to watch you do a couple more because it feels
Okay.
like this one's a little more detail-oriented.
So once again, I've got hands holding each piece, right? Because they'll hold it far steadier than I ever will.
Yeah.
Moving them until my red wire is touching my 5 volt. It is labeled on both sides all the way down, thankfully. You don't have to like look at one and remember, okay, the outsides, some of the older ones you did. Because I don't really, come here.
I can definitely see why soldering both ends before sticking them together
Helps.
makes a lot of sense.
Right. It's one of those, it doesn't take that much time, but when you want to be impatient, you just want to be done, you just want to skip it, because do I really need to do this?
Yes.
Yeah,
I could see why.
You kind of really
yeah.
do. Yeah, it's
And what's it called again?
a tinning.
Tinning.
Yeah, you're tinning your wire.
That makes a lot of sense why it happens. Oh. Don't worry, everybody's just watching you, Odin.
Oh, I know. That's fine. I was complimented so many times at the con for just showing my mistakes and rolling with it and working through it instead of pretending like everything goes perfect every time. Because you know what? It never goes perfect every time. I moved it before it was done.
I was like, that one looked quite perfect, but then you moved it. So there's that. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Now putting the next one in the sequence.
Yep, I'll put the next one in sequence. Just grab one of these. I got 5 volt, my red. It doesn't matter which order you do them in, just as long as the right colors go to the right terminals, right points, whatever the freaking word is.
Yeah. I start tinning these ones that didn't get tinned yet.
Oh, okay. And I
At
can
least
see
trying.
my soldering irons starting to power cycle, so you might want to check yours.
No, I just refixed it, so it's,
Okay.
if you want to.
Hey,
It's 1 o'clock.
I was just seeing that.
Time for mail.
Yeah.
Can you break these things by squishing them?
Technically, yeah, I think you can. What'll happen is the LEDs themselves aren't going to be as flexible as the copper tape that they're on, and you'll break some of the connections that of the LED to the tape. So yes, you can.
I realized I gave you the solder. I was working.
Oh, that's fine. I'm actually not using it. These last few, I've only used the solder that was pre-tinned. I didn't actually
Add more.
add more.
Okay.
That one's really close, but it should still be separate. Yeah,
I'm
it's still
trying
separate.
this. It's not blinking. We're good.
This is 1 and 2.
There's a blob.
There's a blob.
I made a blob.
I kind of want to finish one set of 4, and then we'll open some stuff up.
Right. Okay, the first one's the biggest, the second one's a little on the medium side, and the last one's pretty tiny
It's okay.
in comparison.
Best thing to do probably is not expect it to your first ones to work the first time.
I expect great things, Odin.
Okay. Alrighty, and then you should. And again, I'm really sorry that we're not going to see them light up today,
No, it's fine.
but we'll test them. Make sure they beep. Get to that in a little bit too.
Jim Tillman wants to know what part of the Proton Pack build. We're doing lights.
We're doing the red lights that go in the Cyclotron right now. They're actually just programmable, individually addressable LEDs. They're WS2812Bs, 5 volt, but they will be programmed to be red and probably pretty bright. And we can also program them to kind of flash in sequence, so it can look like it's, either full-on flash, or they can pulse where they're all like 50% or 40% power, and then one's 100%, and they just go in sequence, so it looks like it's running around.
That's with the Baconic stuff, right?
Yeah, that's with the Baconic stuff.
Oh. I can see what you're talking about, that you have to heat up the copper because you can melt the solder and it not stick.
Yep.
That's okay. I'm just learning how to do this live in front of everybody.
Yeah, there you go. No deal.
Steve D says the concentration of the whole world at the moment watching you solder.
Yeah, pretty much.
Solder. Watching me mess up. I need to put my hair back because I'm going to burn my hair off if I don't. Where's the pencil?
Burning hair actually smells worse than burning solder.
I agree. It smells like burning feathers, which is distinguish.
So I've got... Oh, I've only done 2. All right. I thought I was further along than that. All right. I've got 2. And there have been plenty of times that I rushed and put one of the LEDs on backwards. So, that one won't light up. But it'll still have continuity, so one's down the line will still light up. It sucks.
I can imagine. Oh, it's blinking now. It's okay.
So yeah, even though this weird little blinky thing is an issue with the battery operated, I really like my Ryobi soldering irons because I've got a number of the old wand ones. I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier. From just the old school ones, you plug them into the wall and it's got a wand, and that's all it is. These heat up faster. I've had more success with these than with those cheap ones, and they're not that much more. And yeah, I love the fact that I can take this to a con and I can do repairs without needing power, because you have to have power dropped at a con, right? So anyway.
It's smoking. I left some stuff on.
Oh, that's okay. You can just stab it into the wire. You can rub it on the sponge, a little of both, and that'll get most of the crud off, and it should get it to stop smoking.
Yeah, stop smoking, soldering iron. Smoking's not good.
Don't smoke.
Let me try that little sponge. Now that's a satisfactory sizzle.
Yes, yes it is. I know exactly what sizzle you're talking about.
Steve Yeardley says a quality iron makes so much difference.
Oh, doesn't it?
I can see how that would make a huge difference, especially waiting for things to get hot. You want it hot.
More than once I thought, do I need to get one of those lab ones that's the big base, you can really dial it in, and it's really... I really don't, because I'm a hobbyist. I don't need that quality of a soldering iron. Lab quality soldering iron. But man, I'm happy with this one.
Oh, I did 3 even dots. That's satisfying. I'm going to do that one better, though. Sorry. I'm figuring this out.
That's all right.
Such
I'm
a
glad.
good feeling.
Yes.
This side's prettier than that side, but they both are all separate dots, not connected.
That's awesome.
I feel like that's the important part, right?
It is, actually. If you want to go back and look at some of my older soldering things. It was so nice that my cameraman Neil would watch me do stuff and he just goes, man, your solders make mine look good.
That's a good friend.
Oh, Neil was great because he never, he always just spoke his mind. He didn't candy coat anything. It was great. Appreciated that.
Right. And so that extra bead, you just kind of wipe it off on that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, that's so satisfying. Came off perfectly. I'm getting twisted. What?
Did the rain come? No.
Is it raining?
I don't think so. I don't hear it in the roof. I hear it outside, so it's something else going on outside.
Okay. Well, you brought Mechagodzilla in, so it's
I did.
probably not going to rain now.
This is true. Alrighty, now I've got 4 with plenty of wire for moving around inside. So what I'm going to do, even though I talked about not doing this yet, if I want to test it, I need to do this.
Yeah.
So
we have mail time, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
I know you're finishing that up, but
I'll get to mail. I swear.
it's okay.
I'm excited because I got stuff.
I'm
I know what
excited
2 of them
because
are,
I'm like,
but I don't know
this
what the other one
working.
is.
So
That's true. Okay, so I've got a string of lights, and if it's soldered correctly, then what's coming off the 5-volt will only attach to the 5-volt lead over here, and none of the other ones will make a noise. And if that's true, then nothing is cross-contaminating, nothing's shorting, right?
right, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
This is so satisfying now that I know what I'm doing.
Oh, good.
I have a new favorite thing. I'm going to be adding lights to everything. No.
If all you want to do is rewire like a flashlight that just takes a couple of double A's, it's real easy to do. And actually, this electronic stuff isn't that much harder. There's a little more going on, but it isn't really that much harder.
Yeah.
So I've got I've just got a tester that I'm melting. I set the tone, and all that does is plays a tone when there's a completed circuit. So I've got,
That circuit is complete.
yep, when I touch the 2 test leads together. So I've got an alligator clip grabbing the end of one test lead, attaching to my red, and if I touch the 5-volt on this side, I've got continuity. If I touch ground, it's not shorting. If I touch, it's not shorting. So,
The only one makes the noise.
yep, only one I want makes a noise. And I could probably, I know none of the wires are shorting, but I should still test each one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the data one's not. But that also, I'm not 100% sure. That may just be the nature of the data one. So kind of remember that from the past. That okay, I should be good. I've got power going to all of them, so I should be good. So I've got one string of lights for one cyclotron. Yeah, voltmeter, that's the word I was looking for.
This is so satisfying, and they're getting more and more even. Now
Good.
that I'm completely done, I have like one perfectly done one.
Right on. Nothing wrong with that.
No, here you go, you can have that back now.
Okay. Would you like to jump on to the next part?
By attaching them?
Yeah. Want me to do one first?
Yes,
Again?
please.
Okay, I can do that. Your soldering iron still hot? Okay, so out of habit, I try to set things up to be the same way. So the 5 volt is facing me, the ground is away from me. So then I got my wire, and I like using the red for the 5 volt positive. So that wire is facing me. I can also read it here, but all I need to do is get the red one to touch. Don't care about the other ones right now. Mine's starting to blink. I'm double touching it, right, you know. I just need to get the 2 bits of solder to melt together and become one. And then the green one goes to DIN, which it looks like that one needs some help. So I'm touching the top of the green wire, which is tin, which melts the solder. And then when that liquid solder hits the solder underneath it, it melts it, and everything smooshes together in a fantastic electronic liquid metal kind of way.
Lewis Casey or Casey says Ben Eady just released a video about plug and play lights used with Baconics. Check it out.
Yes, some of the plug and play lights are cool. My friend Bill Voorhees down at Arcane loved the plug and play stuff. It can get really bulky. So if you're trying to work on something a little smaller, like say a sonic screwdriver, plug and play may not work because the pieces they bulk up. Like I tried to do a plug and play for a lightsaber, and I ended up not having enough space inside the 1-inch tube because of all the plugs. So I liked it, but I ran into that once or twice and kind of then stopped doing it. Even though we could plug and play this all we wanted because we got the whole Proton Pack for stuff to fit in.
Right?
So now I've switched hands, switched my helping hands. So the LEDs are down here, 5 volts still facing me. I've got the red wire still facing me. Of course, you bring them together and it's never as straight as it was when you first connected them. And the hands can rotate and stuff. So you get them to where they touch. It's bent.
The concentration.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I really mush those around. I might have a short here. It's not going to be fair if I'm trying to pass one off to you and then I put the short in it. That's not cool.
I would totally take the fall too because I'd be like, yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing.
And it's the data one, which is
The most important?
I don't think it gives the same signal as the power because it doesn't 100% always go through. I don't know how the data line. That's really one next to my thumb. I don't know how the data line works. Yeah, I can feel the. If my thumb's close to the soldering iron, so I can feel the heat from the soldering iron coming off onto my thumb. Ah, that one's messy. All right, that should work still. this. Let me just double check my work here.
Make sure that it's not done.
Yep.
I'm gonna run. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Ooh. That was neat. I don't know why exactly, but somehow I put just enough power in. They got the LED to light up with the testing unit. That was kind of neat. All right, we should be fine. Okay. I'm going to let Felicia complete these. And if she really hates it, then I'll do it. But it's 1 o'clock. It's 1:15. Let's open something up. I've got 3 packages. I know what one is. I'll open them up. I'll open up the one I got last week. I have not made anything jazz from Transformers. So James Tillman is asking me if I've made a jazz suit from Transformers. I haven't made any Transformers suits, and all I think I've made for Transformers is the Matrix of Leadership. Xeno Killer, yeah, we do plan on making the Ecto goggles at some point. I actually might order a kit, just because that'll be fun, but I don't know. Beniti, Slimer. I saw a really cool Slimer puppet at WonderCon. Someone had, he was just attached to a harness that held him out in front of him. The guy was dressed kind of in all black. His face was exposed, but his body was a black morph suit. And so it was this like half-scale Slimer puppet with arms, and the guy could stick his hand in and then puppet the tongue, kind of like the way they did Jabba the Hutt. That's how he would just chase Ghostbusters with Slimer. It was pretty cool. So I was asking about modifying toy guns to make them look like other stuff, which is a pretty cool idea. Alrighty. First package I want to open up came from Stupid Monkey. Thank you, Stupid Monkey. It's one of these. Now this I actually know what it is because we've talked for a while about him sending these to me. So I'm not too afraid of opening them up. I can't really hurt them that much. They're already broken. With Stupid Monkey's random travels, however he managed this, actually I know how, but I don't want to say, he sent me a whole series of broken hockey sticks. Oh, they're all different lengths. I don't know why I automatically assumed they'd all just be like as long as they could be, but with but without the like little paddle at the end of the hockey stick, right? But no, these are all tripping over that. Oh, there's this is cool. I'm excited. Somebody sent me pieces of wood. What's that shiny? What's the shiny? The shiny is broken hockey sticks that Stupid Monkey sent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they're all very hard wood. But what's nice is, this one's actually got a lot of really good color to it. It's going to be a blank for a sword. I can make more really, longer, heavier duty swords with some of these. Wow, that's weird. They got like a grippy feel to them.
Yeah, they are definitely.
And you just put
athletic tape.
Yeah, on the end so it wouldn't tear up and
Don't you use hockey tape for?
Yeah, for the grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For various things. I've stolen it from you for a few times.
Yeah. But I'm gonna, I've got a couple here that are like full length with a little nub at the end. Because I've got a plan for one of these immediately, but it's a little guy. Well, thank you, Stupid Monkey. This is very cool. So I will have a video coming up in the next couple of months where I'm definitely going to be using one of these to make a large sword. I've said this in the past in other, live streams, but people have been requesting since DIY Prop Shop. I will finally be making one. So okay. Message for you, sir.
Remember the sepulchre? The
Right.
joke. You had to build a whole rig.
I had to help build a whole rig, so
It's when costumes and props overlap.
yes, Anthony was trying to up. It was
Ian.
Anthony. Was Ian? Okay,
It was Ian. Yeah.
Ian was trying to up the party at the party that he was at, and so he decided, "You guys ever do the sep?" And he pulls out a katana and just starts going for it. And we had to make a harness for the blade to be sticking out of his chest.
So you could be walking around the party.
Yep. Nobody dies on Smosh.
No, of course not. It was a crazy party. What can I say?
So, thank you very, very much, Stupid Monkey. I much appreciate the. We talked many times over getting the hockey sticks here. Those are shipped here from Canada. So, yeah.
Real original Canadian
Thank you.
hockey sticks.
Real
That's
original
quite
Canadian hockey
impressive.
sticks. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And international shipping, too, for something that big. Much appreciated. All right. I got a box here, and this should be something new from Ryobi.
Exciting.
Yeah. They were very happy with how we talked about them last stream and wanted to send some stuff. Yep.
A new box to put our Proton Packs in. No.
It's a new box of butter. Exactly. I was just imitating exactly what you're saying all over again. Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Kind of what I thought it was going to be. It's one of the bins. So, hey, look, it's a milk crate. Okay, it's not. This is.
So you could put your soldering stuff that you're just complaining about being in a stupid bag.
Yes, I could. Right into the bin. What I wanted to do with this, what I talked about, because I knew they made these, is make a drawer, because I've got, some of the camera angles, you can see I've got a double shelf here. I want to clear off the lower shelf and then make a couple of drawer pulls that this can snap into. And now it's an open bin that I can pull out.
Yeah.
But it has a button. Where's the front?
This is the front, isn't
This
it?
is the front, yeah. There it is, way down there. That's, there's some pieces on the underside
right
that
here.
retract. Oh, hey, you can actually see it on two.
Yeah, two.
You
Okay.
press the button and they retract, and so then it lets go of the little hex pieces.
So really fancy Legos.
Really fancy Legos, locking Legos, yeah. And it'll click to the top of the rolling cart that I've got, which is over here on the side. I could probably should bring it up.
It's
but.
been in con mode, so what it was intended for.
And what's cool, when I played with these at Home Depot, the open bin locks to another open bin. So you can put two open bins on top of each other, and there's a cutout here, and so two of them will lock together. Yeah, so thank you, Ryobi. That's cool.
This place will be more organized eventually.
Eventually. And then, something else just showed up today that John brought in. I wonder what this could be.
Well, the other one we were using apparently shorted.
Right, well, it blew the fuse of the building. Ah, that's why. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for paying attention. Yes, that we overloaded the power circuit in the building and popped a fuse last stream. So this is actually the 40-volt battery operated. Yeah.
Yeah. And I really liked working with these with foam because I hate dust.
Yeah, for sure.
That's exciting.
It is. Something I'm really excited about is I can have this here, as well as this can now easily go to a con if I wanted to. But I can take my old one and build it permanently into a new table saw. And I still have this that I can actually move around, right? Because the one that's plugged in, I can live over there.
Right. I actually like to have one in my kitchen under the sink, so
Yeah.
I could just.
Shop vacs are definitely more than just
Ooh,
shop.
that's fancy.
This is cool. course it comes in tubes.
It needs the tubes.
It does need tubes.
And a hose?
I bet that's all inside.
Yep, you're probably right.
Oh, push. Push the green.
Hey.
Push the yellow.
That's what I'm doing.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, we got a... Look, it's a clean filter.
Just gonna assume those pop on right there.
Oh, okay. Is this a... It's like a plug.
It's a plug.
What's kind of cool is it looks like this might be a standard filter, which is really kind of cool that...
Am I making a mess on the iron?
Nope.
Because I added the wheels on. They're in.
Now. Well, it's got a 1, 2. It actually has 2 different power levels.
It. Wonder what the.
I might actually have to look at the instructions for how they want this to go together. That's kind of cool. Oh, there's all sorts of... Like there's
All the bells and whistles.
all the bells and whistles.
And.
What is that?
And.
What's the... Okay, that makes sense.
And.
Gotcha, so that's that.
There's.
And this goes here, and that's what those screws are for. And the hose, it looks like it belongs in the Xenomorph's back. Okay, so there is. That's really cool.
This goes here.
Yeah, it's got a drain. My other one doesn't. You have to tip the bucket over.
Well, that's convenient,
very
especially wet dry
convenient.
backs. Well, this one's not going to interrupt the live stream.
Nope.
Oh, the bells and whistles.
All the bells. Yes! Excited.
Click. And click.
I like that it's got the upper... I've had shop vacs before to where the tubes fit on the wheel well like this, but they didn't have this upper clip. I mean, my shop vac's 20 years old, but didn't have this upper... And so I'm pretty happy, very happy that that does that.
And does this one go in that one?
Probably. I wonder if this...
So this is where the battery goes?
That is where the battery goes.
And it has a little protective cover so that
Yeah.
it doesn't get wet if you are using a wet dry vac?
Correct. And then I bet this goes over the filter on the inside as well.
To double filter the filter?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Those things get nasty quick.
Yeah, they do. The other one needs to be cleaned.
Are you sure?
Oh, well, where else is it going to go? Does it not stretch over it?
I don't want to break it.
Well, that's probably wise. Yeah, all right.
It might, but I don't know.
I'll read the instructions.
Right. This is
I'll
us just
read
clicking
the
it together
instructions.
without reading instructions.
You guys got toys. So thank you very much, Ryobi. Very excited about using these. The battery is being shipped separately. I assume the battery is coming. So I'm actually really excited about having a 40-volt battery.
Right?
It does go this way.
You had it right. They can't see it all, but I'm watching.
That's right. Well, if the hose inside, oh, that's what these are for. That's for the hose to wrap around. With the hose inside, it's blocking the filter from laying down the right way. That's cool. That's cool. I was not. I saw the listing, right? They sent me a list of what they were going to ship. Mm-hmm. Some of it was just stock numbers. It wasn't what it was, but I wasn't expecting the big full barrel wet vac. I thought it was going to be, like a yard vac thing or something. This is
That
way
would be
cool.
convenient,
Thank you.
too, so.
Yeah, it would.
But, yeah.
That's cool. I'm excited about something that sucks. Okay. I'm not saying Ryobi. There's anything wrong with Ryobi. It's just vacuums. You create a vacuum, and it's usually suction. So
If you make a vacuum that doesn't suck, that sucks.
that will suck. Mail call. I got sticks, and I got a box, and I got something that sucks.
You have such a great outlook.
Oh, yes, totally. Oh, and I got a reproduction of a Japanese poster I can't read. Hey, if you want to send something in for us to open it up, it doesn't have to be as cool as a vacuum cleaner. You can send in a piece of artwork. If you want to send in a little bit of artwork or a letter for Felicia and have us open it up on air, I'm totally happy to do that. I think Felicia's happy to do that. But there's going to be a P.O. box in the description of this video. Send stuff to that P.O. box, and we'll see it, and we'll open it up, and it'll be fun. Yeah, it'd be a way that you can actually send us something that we can participate on air. It doesn't have to be elaborate gifts like this. It really doesn't. Or just keep mentioning comments. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are watching and commenting and being a part of the live stream.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And even if we don't read your comments now, I'll go back and watch them later.
Yeah, every week Felicia goes back and re-watches the live stream.
Yes.
I
love
hardly
to
ever
torture
do.
myself and like go, oh my gosh, am I that squeaky?
Did I say that?
Right.
More than once? Yeah, but what's funny is I really don't. I don't go back and watch the rewatch the live
That's
streams.
probably better for your mental health.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
No, but I actually kind of enjoy it. I sit there and I hem, and it like 3 hours goes away pretty quickly.
Right.
Yeah, because same tedious task over and over again. I can half distract myself.
Totally get it. I listened to, so with this last week's April Fool's video where we made the Soul Stone, Joe helped me. You heard?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a green screen shot of Joe falling. We were, I was trying to roughly recreate the Hans Gruber scene from the end, his death scene from Die Hard, right? So took Joe outside and did a green screen effect with it. Basically, Joe bent over backwards, so he was balancing on his butt, bending over backwards on a bar stool with a green screen behind him, and there's a green screen over the bar stool, which worked, except that there's a lot of shadow right up against his head and right up against his arm, which, all right, that sucks. So now for the cut that I wanted, which was 239 frames, I had to go through one by one with Photoshop and cut them out. Now, I didn't have to do it that way, but for me, that was just, it felt like it was going to be easier because I was going to have more detailed control than using the node tool within Adobe After Effects. So that's the way I did it. 16 hours later.
16 hours.
16 hours. One entire audiobook plus Adam Savage tested streams later. Yeah.
10 minutes to build.
10 minutes to build.
Don't worry, we'll take care of that in post.
Yep, exactly.
12 hours later.
And I dealt with it in post. The other fun thing is Joe is, as always, he's got something planned. So he came down the shop on that Friday. We did the Among Us stream. Then we shot all that stuff. We were hoping to get it done in about 2 or 3 hours. We got it done in about 3 or 4 hours. This is up on the roof and coming back down off the roof. I was also hoping to get some help from someone in the building. Everyone's split. It was like turning the lights on and cockroaches are gone. It was like, nobody's here. So one of the shots, we're on the roof, and I was showing we're on top of the building. We put the camera down on a tripod, down in the parking lot, like where I started with the live stream, way back on the Halloween stream. No one was here. We were the only ones in the building. So we brought Joe's car up and parked it and then kind of set the camera up behind the car. So you really couldn't see it from the street, but you kind of could. But his car was parked in the middle of the parking lot.
You guys could just
And
watch them as they take your camera.
Oh, yeah. So it was great. So we walk away, and then we have to go all the way through the building, upstairs, up the ladder, onto the roof. And I get up there, and yes, I still have a camera. We do the thing, and then... and then climb back down when we can't see the camera. I come outside. Yes, I still have a camera.
No, it's a little gut-wrenching.
Yeah, a little. And that wasn't like my prize camera, but still, I don't want to lose the cameras I've got.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad neighborhood or anything. It's just that there are
it's
just
on the street
people.
and people walk by. It's and it's a camera. So anyway, that was fun. The whole point behind all that, there's one shot. So Joe. In the video, Joe's falling away, and then there's a reverse shot of Joe's point of view looking up at me as I'm looking over the edge of the building watching him fall, right? Mm-hmm. And with that one, I'm just getting smaller as Joe falls away. That was shot 3 days later because we just ran out of time and Joe had to leave. Meanwhile, it went from 71 and completely clear to effing raining.
Yeah,
But I had to get this shot done because I was going to be going to WonderCon, and I had to get the video done. I remember walking outside because I was going to go get my hair cut, and realized the sky is clear enough right now. There's actually shadows on the building. When it rains and you get overcast, there's no shadows outside. Well, it was totally clear. We had harsh shadows, so I had to have some kind of shadow for the shot to work. So I set the camera up. This time it was I could put the camera behind our fence so it was safe. And then ran upstairs and leaned over the edge and did what I needed to do. And then in post, I upped the contrast and made a matte where I cut the sky out behind me and then matted in the sky from the previous shoot so the sky would match. And then did a whole bunch of contrast stuff on.
The things he does for you guys.
Yeah. So that shot was shot days later, and all this
I remember
fiddly bits
all
to
of
make
that.
it work. Yeah. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Not just from my shoot, but from doing it plenty of times for plenty of other people.
Okay.
Okay.
Arrow is pointing that away.
Sure. I told you the arrow, then I realized I was probably not terribly important, but the arrow will still kind of help.
So does it keep the arrow on top this way?
Yeah.
So this goes like this to this?
Yep. Now, it's not just the arrow. The individual ones are also labeled. You have plus 5V, so that's positive 5 volts. You have...
Green is DIN.
Green is DIN. Oh, hey, look, it's D-I-N and D-O. So it's data in and data out.
Okay.
So DIN. Ha! I never read them both the same time before. And then you have ground and ground. So red is always going to go to plus 5 volt. Green is data, in to out. Or I guess technically out to in.
You do it with the red towards you, so it'd be this way.
Yep. Now you can do it any way you want as long as you're consistent.
I'm just saying consistent with you because that will make life easier.
Okay.
So, double checking crossing my I's and dotting my T's, you know.
Sure. Now instead of holding it on edge,
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I was usually clipping it across the middle and just holding it flat. And oh, that's just being a pain in the here, let's get to the other one.
That one I can do more adjustment to. Oh, there we go. The one you already had set up for it.
Right. Oh, yeah. This one used to have a magnifying glass that screwed in over here, but I wanted another set of hands.
Alright, I'm going to do this. I'm going to ruin it. Let's do it.
Chloe is reminding us, hey, you want to get the brand new Gundam and Mechagodzilla merch? I've got, there's Gundam stickers, and there's Mechagodzilla stickers, and all sorts of Mechagodzilla's merch. There's shirts, and mugs, and hoodies, and backpacks. Check out the merchandise, and he's got a list for creatorspring.com.
Yes, I did one! Sorry.
You did one? You got it?
I did one without touching the other one. Little victories.
Chloe posted a new meme in Discord, with sword fighting. Never underestimate Felicia's power. And then hitting me in the neck, I underestimated her power.
Words of advice.
Louis Causey is exactly right. Now you can use a vacuum to suck up the solder smoke. You can use, just like for spray painting, you can set up a fan and a filter to have a positive airflow pulling away from you. That'll pull the solder smoke away from you. I talked about we have this that's blowing air in. I've talked about using the lab quality soldering iron before. Another common thing is it's a little box with a hose coming off of it that's literally just going to a vacuum cleaner. So all it's doing is sucking the air in. If you put it next to what you're soldering, it'll draw all that nastiness away from you and away from your face.
Did two.
Sweet.
Slowly happening.
Yeah, you'll do it.
This is.
I know you can do it. I know you can do it because I can do it.
And tinning, definitely, I can see why you'd want to do it because I would hate to do this without tinning.
Yeah, it is way harder to have the untinned stuff and then you're just adding solder to it. Nah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I just melt stuff. Thomas Holst, greetings, hosts. Have either of you experimented with a GoPro in trying to find a way to document my builds? Oh, a GoPro. I'm trying to find a way to document my builds without putting a camera way up in the corner of my shop to catch everything. Yes, I've used a GoPro on occasion. You can really see the GoPro when I made the custom Lego builds for Lego Dimensions, like the TARDIS and Wheatley. Some of the newer ones shoot 4K, and some of the newer ones shoot 6K, but they get really hot because that's a lot of processing power. But they can do it. The wonderful thing about 6K isn't that you have this fantastic image. It's that GoPro cameras can't zoom. But if you're shooting a super high resolution image, when you just grab the middle of it and it's still HD, now you've effectively zoomed in. But you still have the proper resolution for YouTube. So I've looked at it and thought about it. When my cameras finally give up the ghost, it's okay, guys, there's no rush. I will probably move to GoPros. But there's other pieces I'll have to get with the way my setup is. Little special bases that give me HDMI out and such that the GoPros don't normally have. Another big benefit of a GoPro is, like your cell phone, they are in focus from us to the moon. So I don't ever want to badmouth GoPro. Because that is totally a nice, easy way to do it. You can turn them on and off with an app. The only thing you might want to do is get a better microphone. Still, if you're starting, just use it. It's good. But the little pinhole microphone on the GoPro is good, but not as good as having a microphone here. So it might be nice to have some sort of mic. But I'm also a TV guy, and that's the stuff I'm used to looking for. And if you don't care, don't care. Just get your videos done.
Yeah. They've shot a feature-length films on iPhone 5, so at this point...
Right. It looks to me like a portion of the barrel... Dwarves in a barrel over the river in The Hobbit, that was shot with GoPro. Some of it. So, yeah. It's fine. Yep, Printed Prop Shop is also saying you can fix the fisheye and framing in post as long as you record in 4K or higher. This is in reference to GoPro. Also, some of the GoPros do it natively in the camera now. You can set it to flat and wide, and you can get rid of some of that fisheye in the GoPro itself. So your final thing. The other thing really fun with GoPro, again, old editor brain, they have their own unique numbering system, which can be really weird. Because when you dump it back into your folder to look at, either on a Mac or Windows, doesn't matter, the numbering system isn't sequential, but it is. But it isn't. And I can't really say what it is right now because I don't remember well enough. But the way it reads back, they kind of shuffle them. Like you're having your 4 suits of cards shuffled together. Then you have to kind of unshuffle the suits. And when you have the suit unshuffled, then they'll play in proper order. But if you just dump them all in the timeline, it's going to look really weird. You'll figure it out in a hurry. It's just weird that GoPro does it like that. How come I can't just be clip 1, clip 2, clip 3, up to until it rolls over? But it's like clip 01001, and then it's 02001, 03001, and then when it plays the next ones, it's 02002, 03002. So it just really messes with the way computers like to, I'm probably saying the organization wrong, but the way computers like to sort files.
I got these stuck together without touching.
Oh, nice. Printed Prop Shop says you can change the file system naming too by refreshing the GoPro via computer. I didn't know that! I'm learning something.
Match. My arrows are all going the right way. Okay.
Yanolith is trying to apologize that they went out for lunch and they're still eating, laughing away. It's okay, Yanolith. We're both still out to lunch today, too.
We ain't all here, that's for sure.
No.
I'm learning to solder.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Live on YouTube.
Oh, right. Lee is... Sorry, I probably should have, huh? Lee is reminding me that I've got his number. He's just a couple miles from here. I could have called him and he would have been happy to come down and play security on the camera in the parking lot.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it. But, hey, Lee, we still want to have Miss Piggy drop by.
Yes. You that's ugly.
Yes, Eonolith, I will definitely be getting a lunch and then a nap after the stream. But just in the whole general, way of speaking, I'm out to lunch today.
Right.
Nim Blues. Next month, Odin Makes Moonshine, sponsored by Ryobi. Oh, H70 Polo is saying Ryobi is lit. Yes, they are. Thank you, Ryobi. I really appreciate the sponsorship you send to the channel and send to me. It's really cool. The tools did go to WonderCon. I didn't take the rolling case to WonderCon because I didn't really set up that way. But a heat gun went, the screw gun went, and then the charger, so I could keep the lights on throughout all 3 days of the con. So thank you very, very much for that.
There we go.
Thomas Holz is thanking us for being awesome hosts and all the information. And Nathan Miller is concerned about dinner. Dinner will happen when dinner happens. But first, lunch and nap.
I need a pre-dinner.
Wow, Venom X13 bought the Millennium Puzzle. Right on. Are you happy with it? Thank you. This was the Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Puzzle, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's the upside-down pyramid with Horus's all-seeing eye on it.
Yeah.
Maybe. It may not be Horus's eye. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. And Amex 7000 says, greetings from Poland.
Greetings in Poland.
Hello. Good evening, Poland.
I'm shaking extra now that you're watching.
Oh, sorry.
It's
You're doing
okay.
fine. One of the fun things of soldering irons is the whole end is what's hot, right? This one's cooled down. Yeah, okay. So this point up here is safe to touch. Everything out here, this is all hot and burny, all the way up to this bit. So you're trying to do something tiny and delicate way out here. And it's not hard. I mean, we all use, well, we don't all, but we all use chopsticks, so it's not that hard to point at something. But still, you got a little tiny wire, and you got a little tiny thing, and you got to touch something that's suspended in air, and all three of these things have to stay within like a millimeter or less of each other, or it's not going to work. I totally get it. And, Reddit loves it when you get the stock footage of somebody who's holding a soldering iron like a pencil and getting into work. Yep, I've seen those pictures too. I've even seen them in the wild. It's great. It's like, your fingers are way tougher than mine.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Edward. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Bardinsky FC, massive fan. Keep up the amazing work. You hear that? Bardinsky likes you.
Aww.
Oh, cool. Venom loves the Millennium Puzzle. I talked over you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, aw, thank you.
The Dark Knight is asking if I can make... Oh, Phase 2, Revenge of the Sith, Cody helmet. Finally all clicks. Commander Cody, the Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet. Gotcha.
I did it, and it didn't touch within a millimeter of itself. Anyways.
Really? Right on. Okay. Chloe Incarnate's got a fun question. Saying, hey Odin, when I input my camera footage into Premiere from my camera, it's fuzzy. So Adobe Premiere is the editing program that both I and Chloe use. But when I have it through my phone, it's fine. Any tips? Yes. When you look at the bottom of your monitor, right? So you got the window up showing you what you're looking at on the timeline. That's going to be the preview. No, is that the preview monitor? Yeah, you got the source monitor and the preview monitor. So that should be the preview monitor. Source monitor is just going to show you what clips you're playing out of the bin. At the bottom of the preview monitor, you have a little drop-down selector, and it's going to show you a fraction. You're probably looking at 1/4 or 1/2. What that is it's 1/4 the resolution or 1/2 the resolution. You can put it up to a full, and you'll get the proper non-fuzzy, but it's more taxing on your computer. I actually typically use 1/2 resolution because it just takes less processing power. Once you do your rendering, and you can even do just a little bit. You want to test it, set it in and set it out, and hit your enter key. That'll render everything from the in to the out point. And across the timeline, those frames will turn green. That'll play back at full resolution because now it's a piece of video Adobe is pulling from a separate scratch file as opposed to trying to play the clips raw from wherever they're sitting, wherever it is on your computer. So that's probably what's going on because, yeah, your phone's probably in focus or you've got something on your lens.
I would listen to this guy. He's like an Emmy-nominated, award-winning editor, so guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. I edited for a number of years for the local PBS station as well as on a number of programs before that. While I worked at PBS, I won 4 different Emmys for editing. So I'm happy to talk about as much as I can. I have forgotten so much about Final Cut 7, but I've been using Adobe Premiere now for a very long time, and I'm totally happy to talk through it. And I'm so glad that at this point, Adobe Premiere, there was a point in time when there were things at Final Cut 7, which even at that point in time, this is, 8 years ago, whatever it was, Final Cut 7 was the old program, but it was doing things that Adobe Premiere wouldn't do, like open up more than one file at a time. And now here we are many years later, and Adobe Premiere is finally moving past where Final Cut 7 was. I mean, it does a lot of like bells and whistles stuff that's really cool, but the things that I really liked about 7, Premiere is finally doing them all, and it's finally doing them all better. And it took this long. It's really kind of funny. But yeah, Final Cut 10, nothing wrong with that program, but from my point of view, it's like iMovie Pro, and I don't like the way it works because the biggest one, okay, I haven't touched it again in years, so there may be an update to it that I'm not aware of. When I look at the timeline, I'm very visual, and I'm working with a visual medium, video. On the timeline, I've got my clip, and it's this long, and I know that represents this amount of time. So when I drop in another clip, and it's a little bit longer, then I know that clip is longer than this clip. It's kind of dumb, but it's visual, and there's times when I'm trying to cut stuff to the music, I can visually see that, okay, this clip is too long, it needs to be shortened, and so on and so forth. Final Cut 10 worked in a icon style where you had, it was like a flow chart. You had a square, and this represented this clip of video, however long it was. And then it had a little line that went to the next clip of video, which is however long it is. And it moves on. And then you couldn't like layer video, which was, I mean, you could, but it was pulling teeth. And that was just, my brain didn't work that way, and I didn't like it. And that's the best way to put it, because there's really nothing wrong with the program. I just don't like the way it works because my brain didn't work that way. Chloe says, wow, thanks. Yeah, hopefully that's what you need. Grusen's here. Good evening, Odin and Felicia. How are you doing today? I'm asleep. How are you, Felicia? I'm
doing well. Welcome.
Felicia's learning to solder and having fun.
Yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It's my last one.
You're up to your last one?
Yeah, but it was the first one I did, so it's the most uneven of the original soldering, but it's still working.
Okay, cool.
So they're not like stuck together yet.
Okay. Printed Prop Shot says, it's much easier now, Odin. Laugh. What was it, my Premiere preferred choice? Oh, okay. Oh, good. So, Premiere is preferred choice for everyone, but I still love Final Cut Plus, and I own Final Cut 10 outright. Okay. And he's saying it is much easier now. I believe that, but when I was at PBS and they were trying to decide, it's a local PBS station, it wasn't official PBS, it was a local affiliate. When they were trying to decide which program they wanted to go with, I was one of the test monkeys that had to deal with which we were going to use, and then I actually had to do a couple of projects using the program in order to justify buying it. So I had to recut an entire season of something for syndication somewhere else. I was like, all right, I did it. Can I be done now? Muddy 1052, gonna see you in Oklahoma City. Sweet. By the way, everyone who's tuning in and didn't hear me earlier, I am going to be in Oklahoma City this Saturday at Creators Con. So that's creatorsconvention.com. That's where you can get tickets. That's happening in Oklahoma City. And it's a one-day con, all day Saturday. There's going to be like trivia night after the con's officially over, so it's going to keep going. I'm going to be there with Evil Ted Smith and SKS Props and a number of other creators and cosplayers, most of whom I've heard of, but I've never met. So I'm really looking forward to getting to go. So that's going to be this Saturday. And then the weekend after that, I'm going to be back here in Sacramento, up in Roseville, doing SAC Anime Summer. And in between the two, we're going to both be in CrockerCon on Thursday night. So the next 2 weeks, I'll be attending 3 cons. One of them's in Oklahoma. Groot's reminding us not to inhale the fumes.
I know, I'm getting all in there going, come on! And then it was cold. I was like, why isn't this working? It's cold.
It's cold. Oh, do you have one left to do still?
One left to do.
All right.
I'm just waiting on it heating up. It's blinking.
It's blinking, so it's heating up, right? No, it's down when it's heating. There we are.
Okay.
Solid for heating up.
The blinking is...
Blinking is... So you see the graphic, it's solid red, arrow up, it's heating up. Green, it's good. Got the little dotted lines above the... I assume that means blinking, and it's cooling down. It's all nice and graphical and non-language. So you got a generic sticker that works in multiple countries.
Mm-hmm.
Good planning.
Yeah, don't touch, it's hot.
A for Apple says, hi guys, lovely to see you again.
Hello.
Hello. I got 2 different people asking if Godzilla will be in Oklahoma City. No. He's too big to stuff onto an airplane. I mean, he could. I'd have to ship him. I'd have to ship him today.
I was going to say, you could wear him on the airplane, but I don't think people would appreciate your tail.
I wouldn't fit in the seat. People don't appreciate my tail anyway, but I extra wouldn't fit in the seat.
Just get a separate seat just for him so he can sit on the plane next to you.
Our sound guy friend has done that with his equipment. He's bought 2 plane tickets just so he could put his sound equipment, which is his bread and butter. This is why he's going. Yeah.
Sometimes it's cheaper than shipping.
Yeah. And he's got more control over it. He just buckles into the seat next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's his lifeblood. He's got a car hung around his neck. The amount of money he's dumped into his rig.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Stroh is asking if I'll make a Bill Cipher statue from Gravity Falls. At the moment, I don't. I've got Gravity Falls items on my possible to-do list, but I don't have anything planned at the moment. But I saw some really cool Gravity Falls cosplayers at WonderCon. They were really fun to talk to.
Was there a Mabel? No.
No, it was the old man. It was the kid with the blue tree on his hat.
Yeah.
And they had the triangle. What's the triangle character that's got the top hat? That's Bill?
That's Bill.
Is that Bill?
That's Bill.
That's what he's asking for. Bill Cipher. Okay, so
that's Bill Cipher.
They had Bill. I haven't seen any episodes.
It's okay.
So they had a Bill Cipher, and then the kid had journal number 3.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, is there one more wire for the end, or?
No. What ends up happening is the part you have in your hand. We will attach that to the microprocessor, right? Okay. So that'll be hooked up to the same things. It's data out, 5-volt and ground, and then each of these become in sequence and will light up as needed as we program them.
Okay.
Now, if you like, you can strip the ends of this wire, and we can check your continuity.
See if it works.
See if it works. We can only check the positive and the ground because the data apparently doesn't work that way, I hope. Or maybe it does on yours, and then I did something wrong. You want the yellow ones on the far side of my teeth.
Yeah. I was wondering where those ended up.
Like your necklace.
Oh, thank you. I made it myselfish.
It's Grunkle Stan.
Grunkle Stan, yeah.
Dipper Pines and Bill Cipher. Thank you. I don't know the character names. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's a great show. I've been told many times. I just
haven't had the chance to sit down and...
Right.
There's so many of those that I'm like, I'd love to, I just haven't yet.
Man. Yeah, there's... Oh, wait, Mickey Rat's here. Mickey Rat's saying, whoa, I didn't know about the Emmys. That's awesome. Thank you, Mickey Rat. If you want, I can bring one down next stream since we're kind of out of time today.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock.
It's
2 o'clock.
But it kind of looks like an Emmy. No, it's really cool. It is the highest award I could possibly get for the profession that I was doing at the time, right? It's the best rate. So it's really cool that I've got 4 of them.
All right. Let's test these, and then I got to go because it's 2 o'clock, and I have to leave at 2.
Well, all we need to do is bring the tester over. Yep. So we pull the ends off, right, to expose the little things come off with the satisfying. Well, that one didn't.
I know, right?
Not so satisfying. We set this to the making noise setting. So if you got a complete, that means you've got a complete circuit. So I'm just going to hold this against the black negative wire.
And I don't have a complete circuit.
Well, it's not touched yet. So touch this one to the ground on the end of that thing. Just touch it to the ground. Now, do any of the others make noise?
No. And no. But
So
it's
you-
making it change.
That's okay.
But this one's making the noise.
Right, which is good. So that means you've got continuity from this wire all the way to the end there. Now I'll move it to the red one and try the red one. And that's okay because
I'm shaking.
you're shaking. Yeah, that's all it is. So it's working, and it's probably. Yep, you're fine.
Yay!
We can try the middle one, but it's probably not going to make noise. So don't panic.
Yeah, it's not
Yep,
making noise.
that's fine.
But
You did it, and you did it right.
my first time live in front of everybody, so
Yeah, right on.
I didn't screw it up that badly. So
It should be just fine.
dial up.
Dial up. Oh yeah. Yes, dial up. Yeah, Shang-Chi's rings not only have they been made, they've been posted at Etsy, and they've been bought.
So those have already been bought and sold.
Those are bought and gone, yeah.
Yeah. But you can watch the video and make your own.
Yeah. VZAC Webby Award someday? Maybe. I don't normally go out of my way to nominate myself, so, that would be kind of cool. And Frank Carino says, hey, I just got here. What's happening?
We're signing off.
Thank you for coming by, Frank. It's 2 o'clock, and we've got plans, so unfortunately, it's the very end of the stream. I want to thank all of you for hanging around and watching us learn how to solder, for talking about random things and points on editing programs.
Yeah.
Felicia, thank you very much for coming by and inhaling solder fumes with me.
Thank you for teaching me how to solder. So now
You're
I'm
welcome.
like excited to do this more.
You totally can. I think you've got a soldering iron, don't you?
No.
Oh, you don't have a soldering iron?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll have to get you
I
one.
got a Dremel.
You got a Dremel. That's cool. We'll
Yeah,
have
I've
to get
been
you
using
one.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next week. Even though I'm going to go to Oklahoma City this weekend, I'm coming back late Sunday night. I'll actually be back earlier than I was last night. So we're going to be back right here next Monday at 11:15 for the patrons for an early show. It will kick over to being a public at noon, and then at 2 o'clock we're signing out just like we are now. Thank you all very much for your comments, for watching, for subscribing, for enjoying, and for spending your afternoon with us.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
This. Now you gotta go over here. And
I don't
there's
want
this-
to break these. How do we put them away nicely?
Oh, just you can just kind of loosely wrap them, coil them up, and then set them down, and they'll be okay.
I'll put them in one of these binder pouches.
Perfect.
I have one just for the wires.